Ellie, I seen him first.
You did not. I seen him first.
I seen him.
I did.
Will one of you please tell me?
I'll toss you for it.
Don't you want? I'll tell you. There. Now I get to tell. What's all the racket out here?
Ellie's about to tell me who she just seen.
Who, Ellie? The fellow that sold Paul Central Park. Honest John Schaefer.
Well, doggies.
You mean that Honest John is right here in Beverly Hills? Yes, ma'am. The most exciting news of the whole year. And that lummox lays there half asleep. Get up, lazy bones. Ellie just seen Honest John Schaefer.
Granny, I seen him too. I was driving the truck.
Did you stop and talk to him?
No,
we
sir, we
couldn't.
didn't.
You tell him, Ellie. No more tossing.
We couldn't stop on account of the traffic. And by the time we drove around the block, he was gone. We've got to find him.
That's the truth. Finest man I ever run into.
Salt of the earth.
He sure deserves that name, Honest John. He sold me Central Park, Statue of Liberty, Staten Island Ferry, Brooklyn Bridge, Empire State Building, and the Algonquin Hotel, all for $10,000.
That's what I call a real bargain.
Then he turned around and gave you your money back.
I'll never forget our leave taking there in Central Park. What we're trying to say, Honest John, is that you're just about the nicest fellow we ever met. We're proud to know you.
Well, I gotta get going. Well, so long.
Oh, wait, here comes Granny. She'll want to tell you goodbye.
Goodbye? Is Honest John leaving?
Yeah, Granny. He's got to go to Chicago.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been so nice knowing you. Take care of yourself, young fella.
Yeah, I will. Swell. Well, so long.
God bless you, son.
Look, folks, I got no use for this money. I mean, what's a few thousand for somebody like me? I'm loaded.
Well, I got plenty myself.
Give it to the Indians at the Algonquin.
He's one of nature's noblemen. Well, leastwise we know he's here in Beverly Hills.
I sure wish we knowed where.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Flo Schaefer.
She moved to Australia.
Flo, it's me, Shifty.
Shifty, baby!
Oh, Tom.
What's the matter? Have the police got a tail on you?
No, just supposed to have it. Gee, it's good to see you again, you floozy.
It's good to see you, you louse.
Wedding ring? It's gone? You finally got a divorce, oh well. I can't blame you.
Are you kidding? Me divorce you? Never. I love you.
Well, where's the ring?
I hocked it.
What'd you get?
$10.
Well, it's a clear profit. I stole it.
Oh, Shifty. We were such a great team. What split us up?
Your mother? Where is the old bat?
Please, honey. Mother's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. She'll be out in 6 months.
Look, honey, sit down. Something I gotta tell you, and I don't know how you're gonna take it.
Sounds serious.
It is. It's the toughest confession I ever had to make, and I know you're gonna hate me.
Shifty, I could never hate you. So you met a younger, prettier girl. You married her. You're a bigamist. So what? I forgive you.
No.
You didn't marry the girl. That's even worse. Don't worry about it. I still love you.
That's not it.
You've joined a mob. Gambling, girls, dope, rackets, everything. Relax, you're still my man.
That isn't it, honey.
Then what? Tell, baby.
Flo, I've gone straight. I've turned honest.
You dirty rat! Don't you touch me, you rat, you swine!
Baby, you don't...
Now I want a divorce.
Sweetheart.
You'll just be glad that Mother isn't here. She'd beat you to a pulp.
No! Let me at least tell you how it happened. What turned me on us?
I don't want to hear that kind of talk. Makes my flesh crawl. Now, get out!
Angel.
Get out! I can't stand the sight of you.
Oh, please, none of my friends will speak to me since I've turned on us.
Who can blame them? You're sick.
I know it, baby, and I need help.
Go to a head shrinker.
What? Can I go to a head shrinker and say, make me a crook?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe I can help you shake off this terrible hang-up.
I know you can, dear. I know you can. Because you're so completely rotten.
Thanks, doll. Yours did have a way with words.
Hey, listen, I just thought of something. We don't have to go looking for old Honest John. I can send for him with ESP.
Yes?
No, dummy. ESP stands for Extra Sensitive Protection. Or something. Anyways, it means sending thoughts to another person through the air.
Hogwash.
No, Granny, it really works. Of course, only folks with giant, powerful brains has got ESP.
Well, that lets you out. Now get going.
Are you kidding? Nestled up here under this hair is a real brute. If I turn this rascal loose on old Honest John, I'll bomb him with brainwaves.
You get in that truck or I'm gonna bomb you with my foot.
You know something? I'm sorry I graduated 6th grade. Puts me clean out of step with you rubes and clodhoppers.
Well, Mater, whoop him, Granny.
No, you need him for driving.
See? That's a perfect example. She's physical, I'm mental. She's brute force, and I'm intelligence. It's hard to believe we was both brung into this world by the same stork.
Sure hope they find Honest John.
And fetch him home to stay with us.
Be honored to have a man like that under our roof.
He's a living saint.
I hope he ain't forgot about us.
They were rubes, hicks, yokels, pigeons to be plucked.
And millionaires?
Ah, it was beautiful. The perfect setup. For openers, I sold them Central Park.
You're kidding.
And collected the money in cash. Right there in the park.
Well, doggy, there's some big ones in there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I still got me some walking around money.
Well, what do you say we get up and walk around a little? Before I was through, I sold them half of New York. Had the dough in my pocket and a plane ticket to Chicago.
So what happened?
What happened? They got to me.
How?
Well, they were so kind, so sweet, so trusting, so honest, so sincere.
Stop that kind of talk. That's disgusting.
But anyway, that's when I went wrong.
Honey, there's only one way to cure your sickness. You gotta find those hillbillies and take them.
I'm no match for them, Flo. They're too honorable, too loving, too warm, too tender, generous, trusting.
Not again. I'm gonna make you wash your mouth out with soap.
Maybe I can con somebody else, but...
It's gotta be those hillbillies. As my father used to say, if you fall off a horse, you gotta get back on and ride that same horse again.
And he should know. He was the greatest jockey ever to throw a race.
Now, hop on a plane, go to New York, and do as I tell you.
Okay, if I... Wait a minute. They're here. They live here.
In Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Find them, fool them, fleece them, and forget them.
Will you work with me like in the old days?
No, Shifty. You gotta do this alone. It's the only way to cure your sickness.
Well, I'll try. I'll do my best.
You can do it, baby. You were the greatest, the champ.
I really did have it once, didn't I?
You still got it, honey. You can make a comeback.
I'll do it for you, Flo. I'll lie, I'll cheat, I'll steal, I'll con them out of every penny they got.
That's the way to talk, champ.
You know what I'll do? I'll show them no mercy. I'll be cruel, ruthless. I'll leave them starving and destitute. I'll destroy them. I'll be an absolute beast.
How can you help but love a doll like that?
On the way I'm back, just made my first heist.
Oh, wonderful. Who'd you clip?
You, here's your necklace.
Beautiful, Shifty. Beautiful.
The earrings I'll keep.
Did the young'uns fetch Honest John home?
Not yet, but I see you're ready for him.
Well, he always did admire my appearance, Jed. Couldn't get over how young I looked. He was well named Honest John.
True. I just thought of an idea how we might get in touch with him.
Good.
Remember what close friends he was with the New York police?
They met him at the airport and took him to the station to visit with them.
Then they fetched him Central Park in their own car.
Remember, we're giving you 24 hours. So long, pals. Call me anytime. Thanks for the lift. Glad to see you, Mr. Clampett.
What did that policeman mean?
What did you hear?
Well, he said they was going to give you 24 hours.
Oh, that, yes. Well, you see, ordinarily, New York closes promptly at 9 p.m. Lights out. However, due to my influence, I have persuaded the police to leave the city open for 24 hours so that you may see it at night.
Is that a fact?
Times Square, Broadway, 42nd Street. All the famous thoroughfares will be lit up just for you.
He sure kept his promise.
That night when we flew out of New York, I never seen so many bright lights in my born days.
That's our plan to locate him. If he's that friendly with the New York police, chances are he's got some friends in uniform out here.
Good thinking, Jed.
So I'm going to call the station and ask them, have they seen Honest John Schaefer?
Honest John!
Ellie Mae!
Oh, I'm not Ellie Mae. I'm Granny.
Oh, I'll have to take your word for it. To me, you're identical twins. It's good to see you.
Well, Honest John, this is a great pleasure.
The pleasure is mine, dear friend. Ah, how often I thought of those wonderful times we had together in New York.
You know, I still feel bad about you giving the money back for all that real estate that we bought from you.
Tut, forget it. Our friendship transcends mere money.
Well, that may well be, but I'd like you to have...
Something wrong, Jed?
I lost my walking around money.
Could this be it?
Where did you get that?
I found it outside on the stoop.
Oh, is Jethro back?
No, dear friend, I meant the little porch out front.
Doggies, I must have lost it when I was out there pumping my grinding wheel.
Well, here you are, safe and sound.
Anybody but Honest John would have kept it.
That's the truth. Matter of fact, I'd like him to keep it.
I wouldn't think of it, dear friend.
Well, then by rights, Central Park and all them other things still belongs to you.
Oh, well, I'll donate that to the city of New York so that everyone may enjoy them free.
You hear that, Granny?
The man's got a heart as big as all outdoors.
Which reminds me, I brought you a little gift.
Oh, Jed, look. Beautiful earrings.
They belong to my mother.
Man's paying you a great honor, Granny.
I'm afraid I'm gonna bawl.
No tears. This is a happy occasion, a joyous reunion.
You're right. I'll go out to the kitchen and put on some coffee.
All right, dear.
Well, Honest John, what brings you to Los Angeles?
I'm here to perform a service for humanity.
Well, that figures, but what is it?
Mr. Clampett, what would you say is the greatest problem facing the citizens of this community?
Well, I'd have to say it was the smog.
The smog. Precisely why I'm here, the smog.
You like it?
Oh, no. I have a plan to get rid of it.
Well, that sure would be a great blessing.
Well, actually, I'm driven by a sense of guilt. You see, I happen to own the mountains which hold the smog in the Los Angeles basin.
Is that a fact?
San Bernardino Mountains. They were a land grant to my ancestors from the Spanish king.
I didn't know you were Spanish.
While my father was a Schaefer, my mother was a Bernardino.
Well, how do you plan to get rid of the smog?
Well, I plan to drill an enormous shaft through the San Bernardino Mountains, install a huge fan, and draw the smog away.
That's likely to cost a heap of money.
Yeah, I have pledged my wealth, my sacred honor, to the completion of this humanitarian project.
And if I know you, you will haul off and give the whole thing to the city of Los Angeles.
Well, I plan to spread it around. Los Angeles will get the mountains. Burbank and Pasadena will get the giant fan.
Who's going to get the share?
Glad you asked me.
Wouldn't you know that this blessed saint of a man sitting here is the man that's going to get rid of the smog for us?
Ain't it going to cost you a fortune to drill that big hole through the mountain?
Well, the fan alone took all of my cash resources, but I'll raise more.
Why don't you let me chip in some?
Jed's got better than 90 million laying in the bank.
No, please. I'll raise the money. I'll sell my war medals, my Nobel Peace Prize. As a last resort, I could always get $20 a pint for my blood.
I can't let you do that, Honest John.
Please, let Jed help you.
I do hate to part with my war medals.
What do you figure it'll cost to finish up the job?
15, $20 million?
Well, I'll just call Mr. Drysdale and have him write you out a check for $20 million.
Yeah, no checks.
Why not?
Well, names must appear on checks and people find out who their benefactor is, and, well, charity is only beautiful when it's anonymous.
Anon what?
Anonymous. Unknown. That's why I'm financing this entire project in cash.
Well, I know from experience that Mr. Drysdale don't keep $20 million in cash in his bank, but I'll get you what he's got.
No, please, forget it. He'll ask questions. You'll have to tell him what it's for. The secret will be out, and the whole project will lose its charm and beauty.
I don't have to tell him nothing. It's my money.
You do make it hard for me to say no.
I won't take no for an answer. You wait right here. I'll be back in a flash with the cash.
Beautiful man, your father.
Oh, I ain't Ellie. I'm Granny.
I keep forgetting.
You're drawing out how much money? All you got. In cash, that is.
What are you going to do with it?
I can't tell you that, Mr. Drysdale. I'm sworn to secrecy.
You can trust me. I'm your banker.
I'm sorry, I give my word. That's why we're dealing in cash, so no names will get out.
We? Who's we?
I can't tell you no more.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, please, if you've got something going, let me in on it.
Oh, I made a promise, and I gotta keep it.
Well, here it is, Mr. Clampett. This is all the cash in the bank that could be spared at this time. It's more than $500,000.
Thank you, Miss Jane. I reckon that ought to get us started.
Us? What us? Who's us?
Sorry, Mr. Drysdale, I just can't tell you.
Well, at least you can tell me what you're going to do with it.
I done explained to you this is a secret project.
Oh, no.
Mr. Drysdale, don't behave like that.
Unless you tell me what it's for, you're not taking one penny of my money.
This is Mr. Clampett's money. He has a right to withdraw it.
Well, yes, but make him tell me what he's gonna do with it, please.
Mr. Clampett, perhaps you could tell him just enough to alleviate his suffering. I'm afraid he's having acute withdrawal symptoms.
Well, I reckon it wouldn't do no harm to say that this money's gonna be used for drilling.
Drilling? Where?
I don't believe I better say no more.
Then I'm not letting go.
I'm ashamed of you.
Mr. Drysdale, you promised to keep it an absolute secret.
May interest rates drop.
For him, that is a sacred oath.
All right. It's the San Bernardino Mountains, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh. That old mountain gold is found oil again. Call my real estate broker. Have you dark buying out the San Bernardino Mountain?
Miss Jane says there's better than $500,000 in there. Of course, I ain't counted it.
Who cares? If we can't trust one another, where's the joy of life?
Beautiful spoke, Honest John.
Oh, if Miss Jane says it's better than $500,000, it is.
You don't happen to know the denomination?
I think she's Presbyterian.
Mr. Schaefer!
See, Granny? I told you I could bomb him with brainwaves and ESP him here.
Hiya, Jethro.
Gee, it's sure good to shake your hand again.
I see you still have the grip of a gorilla.
Yeah, but our brains ain't the same.
Oh, that's all right, Jethro. Yours will do. Well, must be off, friends.
What's in the sack?
Better than $500,000 in cash.
And you know what Honest John is gonna do with it? He's gonna commence getting rid of our smog.
Hey, that's great!
Isn't that wonderful?
There's only one way to put it. The man is a living saint. Bless you, Honest John.
And thank you for saving all the little critters and birds.
And thank you for saving the young'uns and old folks that couldn't hardly breathe no more.
And the trees and the flowers are dying of air pollution. They thank you, too.
Well, tell them they're welcome. Well, I'll be gone now.
Jethro, heft that money on the truck and take Honest John wherever he wants to go.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Too bad you can't move in and stay with us. It would be a joy and an honor.
Well, next time maybe. Well, glad to see you.
And remember, there is plenty more money where that come from whenever you need it.
Swell.
Little critters, you thank Honest John for saving your lives.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's get out of here, Jethro.
A shaft through the mountains to blow away the smog. That's beautiful, Shifty, beautiful. Where'd you stash the money?
Oh, I wish you could have been there to see me work, Flo. I've never been better.
I told you you could make a comeback, Chav. Where'd you stash the money?
I was brilliant. It was like taking candy away from a baby.
Where'd you stash the candy?
It was a classic cape. A textbook con job.
Where's the $500,000?
Don't worry about it.
I like to worry. Where is it?
I gave it back.
I didn't hear right. You didn't say I gave it back.
That's what I said. And that's what I did.
Come to my arms, baby.
I don't feel romantic right now, honey.
Neither do I. I'm gonna break every bone in your body.
I couldn't help myself. They were so trusting, so honest, so...
Oh, we're dead.
Flo! Flo! Flo!
Look at me, Flo. I'll slow you.
Flo's funny.
I don't care. Flo!
Flo!
Hold it, Joe. You're gonna be in the wet pussy your whole life. Listen, I'll show you living. Get out of here. You crazy. Get out of here.
Be sure to join us next week when Phil Silvers as Honest John Schaefer tries once again to fleece the Clampetts.
I have the honor and privilege of presenting my sainted mother, Ana Maria Fernandez Barcelona San Bernardino y Schaefer.
Howdy, ma'am.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Iguana.
Well, she said the pleasure is hers. Iguana means pleasure in Spanish. Mother speaks almost no English.
Well, we'd be mighty iguana to have you all move in stay a while.
Ah, he said, se povo de hacienda Cesar Romero la cucuracha la Crumpet.
Ah, iguana.
His mother said.
Oh, we caught that. Ellie, show these folks the 2 nicest rooms in the house.
Sure will, Granny. Y'all follow me upstairs.
Fala das pueblos al centro tequila las Clampets Rio Grande.
Iguana.
Not only does she speak no English, she speaks very little Spanish.
What do you suppose she wants?
Well, it ain't time for vittles.
Well, let's find out.
Hey, Uncle Jed, it's that time of year. Maybe she wants to give us a tonic.
Maybe, maybe not.
Hey, I'll bet that's it. She wants to dose us.
So, who's afraid of a little sulfur and molasses? Me.
Everybody in the parlor.
He's here, Granny.
I suppose you're all wondering why I asked you here today.
I ain't.
Hush up. As you know, I've been a doctor in the service of mankind for nigh on to 70 years now.
That's right, Granny.
I'll say.
70 years of healing and giving of myself, bringing babies into the world, setting bones, mixing medicine, curing colds, making poultices, healing warts, rheumatiz, summer complaints, chilblains, hives.
Folks is mighty grateful to you, Granny.
Jed, Jethro, Nellie Mae, I'm giving up my practice of medicine. I'm taking in my shingle.
Hot dog! No more sulfur and molasses.
Granny, how come you want to quit doctoring?
Can't tell you, Jed. I just know I gotta do it.
Well, who's going to take care of us?
I thought of that. Sit down. I may have to go back home, but I just can't leave you in this miserable city of Beverly Hills without one single trained doctor.
Granny, there's more doctors here than you can shake a stick at.
So I've decided to train one of you to carry on the traditions of the hypocrite's oath.
Well, don't keep looking at me, Granny. I decided I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I want to be a soda jerk.
And I want to be a veterinarian. Take care of critters.
Well, the choice is yours to make.
Thank you, Granny.
Yeah, thanks, Gran.
And the choice is to learn doctrine or get took to the woodshed.
But, Granny...
Never mind what, Granny.
Right, Dame.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
How do you do, Miss Clampett?
Howdy, Miss Jean.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's about Granny and her doctoring.
Shh, not so loud.
Is Granny practicing again?
Well, no, that's what I want to talk to you about. She's giving it up.
Oh, that's a shame. We're going to miss her stump water and slippery almoos and all those other wonderful medicines.
Yes, but after all those years of service, she does deserve a rest.
Well, that ain't what she's going home for.
Going home? You mean back to the hills?
Yeah, she's wanting to take her share of the money.
Money? She can't think of all those millions of people out here that need her.
Well, they ain't exactly been breaking down the door. Anyway, she wants to go home and go into research.
Research?
Yeah, she wants to devote the rest of her life to finding a cure for freckles.
Cure for what?
Freckles. Oh, I reckon that ain't the real reason, but that's all I could get her to say.
Well, surely something can be done to keep her here.
I don't know what. Her mind is set. Quick as one of the young'uns learns enough doctoring to take over, she's gone. So I just come over to give you a little head start to getting her share of the money together. Jethro Seifert had come to about 16 million. No! Oh, one good thing. I did talk her out of taking it all home in silver.
Wonderful.
She'll settle for gold dust.
Granny goes. Mr. Clampett will soon follow. Research? Freckle cure? Why could she be going?
If I may offer an unemotional analysis based on my first-hand objective observations...
Just spit it out.
I think this has been brought on by her having no one to doctor. She misses feeling useful and needed.
Yes, that's probably it. Well, why didn't you do something?
Chief, I could hardly be expected to solicit patients for an unlicensed granny doctor.
Wait a minute. We still have a chance. She would never run out on a sick friend.
Chief, I could never deceive Granny with a fake illness.
Who's talking about a fake? I'm only asking you to take a mild poison or break a bone or something. Look, I could drop this on your foot. Isn't your company loyalty good for one little fracture? Was even going to autograph her cast.
Now pay attention, young'uns. I got a lot of doctrine to learn yet.
Here's my patient.
Good. In a couple of days, you'll know more medicine than any of these city pill pushers.
Well, how come you ain't gonna doctor no more?
Don't ask, child. It's a secret. Now I'm going to learn you more bandages. I wish I had a human being to show you on instead of old Duke. You and Jethro would see some fancy wrappings.
Well, maybe we can find somebody.
I'm back from the bank.
Get Duke off to bed.
File these, please, Miss Hathaway. Oh, it's warm in here.
Better turn up the air conditioning.
Oh, please, no more.
Why not? Well, don't tell me you're cold.
I'm freezing. I'm going to get pneumonia.
Oh, good girl. And when you do, I know just the doctor for you. She'll get you right in, no waiting.
Dr. Clyburn.
What are you running here, a frozen food locker?
Hello, boy.
Why have you got it so cold, Milburn?
Cold? Well, what makes you think it's cold?
Well, for one thing, that. Now turn it off.
Oh, all right.
This girl's probably suffering from exposure.
Get your feet-grabbing hands off her. She already has a doctor.
All right, then what did he get me over here for?
Come into my office. I remembered last week you were around trying to raise $8 million for a new charity clinic.
Don't tell me you're going to cough up a donation. You suffer from chronic constriction of the wallet.
Roy, how would you like all $8 million in one nice, neat little check?
All of it? Well, if you could arrange that, I might even learn to like you.
Sit down, Roy.
No strings attached?
Well, there's just one little thread. Sit down.
All right, I'm finished.
Granny, you promised if I did this, you'd only show him one bandage.
It is one bandage. Starts here and it ends there.
What's it called, Granny?
This is called my general purpose bandage. If you ain't sure what's wrong with your patient, it generally takes care of it.
Jethro, get me out of here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jed, please stay here. I got a lot of bandage to learn these young'uns yet.
You can show him on Duke. Now unwrap me.
Oh, all right.
This whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. Learning somebody to take your place just so you can find a cure for freckles?
Jed, I gotta do what I gotta do. Here, young'uns, grab hold of this end and yank, not too fast. Last time I unwound one of these, Aunt Tilly went spinning right into the slough.
Are you kidding? You want me to go up and ask Granny for advice on how to practice medicine? Even among witch doctors, she's a quack.
I'm not asking you to follow the advice. Just listen to her. Make her feel important and needed.
You've spent too much time in that cold office. You've got frostbite of the brain.
Roy, she'll go back to the hills.
I would love nothing better. I've had too many run-ins with that unlicensed, untrained queen of the voodoos. Goodbye, Milburn.
Roy, I'm begging you.
Forget it.
All right. But I can't forget the sick and suffering you're depriving of a bed in the Clyburn Charity Clinic.
Who charity clinic?
If you help me, I can arrange for Jed Clapper to donate the entire $8 million you need, and he won't care what you name the clinic.
That means it would be completed 1 year sooner. No, not with Granny. No. Oh, I'll do it.
Thank you, Roy.
But I'm only doing it so the sick and needy will get help that much sooner. Don't think it's so I can call it the Clyburn Charity Clinic.
Of course, it does have a nice ring to it.
Jed, please come back and help me. I've got a lot to learn them young'uns, Jed.
Granny, once and for all, I want you to tell the truth why you're quitting doctoring and going back to the hills.
Well, I got a lot of research to do, and they got everything I need back there.
You don't give two shucks about curing freckles.
No, but there's something I gotta work on.
What?
Don't make me tell you.
Granny?
All right. I gotta discover a cure for a brand new ailment.
How come?
'Cause I think I got it.
You do?
It ain't in none of the books, so I get to name it. I'm calling it Granny's Complaint.
How long you had it?
Well, I first noticed it about 20 years ago. And I've been going downhill ever since.
You should have said something. What's the symptom?
Well, to start off with, my hearing ain't what it used to be, and my eyes is getting weaker. My rheumatism is worse, and I can't run as fast as I used to. I get chilled easier, and my joints are stiff in the morning.
Granny, all them things is happening to me, too.
It's catching.
Of course it's catching. It's old age.
Not old age, it's Granny's complaint. I discovered it, I get to name it.
Call it what you want to. It's nothing more than getting on in years.
Jed, you've always had a good head on you, but leave the diagnosing to us medical people.
Funny, the last time I felt like this was just before they landed us at Guadalcanal. How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Dr. Clyburn, this is a surprise.
I suppose it is. I came to see Granny.
Oh, well, I don't know. She ain't in one of her very best moods, and at best, you two get along about as good as two dogs with only one bone.
I didn't come to fight with her, Mr. Clampett. I came to ask her advice.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid that... Ask her what?
Well, I need some medical advice.
Oh, well, that's different. I'll tell her. You better wait out here until I talk to her. Sometimes Granny starts shooting before she finds out what flag you're flying.
I thought I heard you talking out there.
You did, and you will never guess who's waiting outside to see you.
Who?
Dr. Clyburn.
Clyburn! Oh, he's after me. That gourd-headed city sawbones. Keep him out on the porch. I'll go upstairs and drop my chest of drawers on him.
Oh, Granny, he's here to ask your advice.
In a pig's eye, it's a trick.
No, he's standing out there humble as a skinny mule.
All right. But one wrong move out of him and he's gonna have a nose full of knuckles.
Come in, Dr. Clyburn. Here's Granny.
Hello, Granny.
Howdy. Now, state your business. I'm in a hurry.
Granny, I realize this morning that I have been too hasty in not taking advantage of having close at hand one with such great experience and knowledge.
Go on.
So I've come over hoping to spend some time with you and get some general medical advice.
The dickens, you say. Did you hear that, Jed?
I got to admire you, Doctor.
What for? You should have been here 4 years ago. Now I ain't got time to mess with him.
You don't?
No. I gotta go back to the hills.
Oh, please don't go, Granny. This means an awful lot to me.
Well, you are some kind of a doctor, and my oath says that I gotta help you out if I can. So I guess I can spare you a little time.
Thank you, Granny.
Dr. Granny?
Dr. Granny.
Just what is it you want to know?
I'm not quite sure yet.
All right, I'll see what you're lacking. How do you treat spotted gimple?
Spotted Gimple?
Well, what do you do with purple drowsies? How about critic, bloat, angry gizzard, dredge the goose eye?
Perhaps I know them by their scientific names.
Them is the scientific name.
You better sort of start from scratch.
Maybe I'd better.
Well, I ain't got time for private tutoring. You'll have to go in the class with Jethro and Ellie Mae. Go on upstairs, third door to the right, and sit in the back of the class.
Where are you going, Miss Hathaway?
Chief, it's 110 in here. If you won't let me turn the heat down, I'm leaving.
Not until your coffee break.
I'm suffering from heat exhaustion.
Oh, that's awful. Now, come on, I'll take you right up to Dr. Granny.
Give up. You can't get me sick enough to go to her for treatment.
Why not? Nothing possibly can happen to you. Dr. Clyburn is up there.
It's for charity. $8 million. Charity. $8 million.
Now we're going to take up anatomy. Pay attention. About here is your gizzard.
Granny, you know it's against the law to set up your still in Beverly Hills?
It's against the law to make corn squeezers. This is my granny's complaint cure.
Granny, I told you everybody's going to have Granny's complaint along about age 65.
That's why I ain't taking the time to go home to find a cure. Case is an epidemic.
While you're at it, I found 2 more symptoms.
You have?
Yeah, gray hair and wrinkles.
It ain't old age, I told you that. And the whole world's gonna thank me when I find a cure.
Well, leastways, I'm glad you give up trying to train the young'uns to take over for you.
Well, it would have took too long to learn Ellie and Jethro.
That's right.
That's why I picked Dr. Clyburn.
What'd he have to say on it?
Well, I was just about to go tell him. He's in the kitchen, learning to make my skunk root dyspepsy potion. Dr. Clyburn, Roy?
Oh, hello, Granny. Dr. Granny.
I got some good news for you.
Good news?
I've been watching you, and I decided that you're the one to take over my practice.
Your practice?
This here is my patient file. Take good care of them.
Oh, but
Don't thank me. Just take it.
You have this many patients?
Well, to tell the truth, I ain't caught on too well out here. Jed, Jethro, Ellie Mae. That's about it.
Granny, why are you doing this?
I suppose I'll have to tell you. Sit down. Now keep this a secret. I ain't as well as I look.
What's wrong with you?
It don't matter. What matters is I got to find a cure for it.
Well, if you tell me about it, I'm sure I can help you.
Roy, you've got talent. But for a young fella, you're awful cocky. Over that fire out yonder, I got cooking every root, berry, powder, potion, known to medical science. How are you going to beat that?
Well, for one thing, have you tried penicillin?
Penicillin? What's that?
It's a drug. We get it from bread mold.
Roy, you've got to forget them home remedies.
It is not a home remedy. Haven't you heard of streptomycin, aureomycin, cortisone?
Roy, you come to me for advice, and I'm giving it to you. Forget them quack medicines. Stick with modern science. Your stump waters, your slippery elm ooze, cocoon root, and them wonder drugs like sassafras and wahoo bark.
All right, Granny. You know best.
Oh, the dyspepsy medicine. You done ruined the potion.
I mix everything in there you told me. I put the lid on the kettle.
On the kettle, it should be in it. This pewter takes the bite out of the mixture. Too late. It's done turned.
This will never work. Everyone will know you're faking.
What else am I going to do? You let me down. I can't depend on Clyburn to keep her here.
I categorically deny
Now,
that
don't
I have...
start that again. Just drive back and try to round up some sick people for Granny. If you have to, hit a couple of pedestrians.
I'll get it, Ellie.
Well, let me get it.
Mr. Drysdale.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not sure. Is Dr. Granny here?
Well, I think she's out back. I'll run and fetch her.
Ellie, wait a minute. We know a heap of doctoring after this morning. Let's surprise Granny and give him a little of that there first aid.
We don't know what's wrong with him.
Ellie, you sure ain't too bright. It's a perfect time for that there general purpose bandage.
Don't worry now, Mr. Drysdale. Everything's gonna be all right.
Annie, where's Dr. Clyburn? I just come from the kitchen. He ain't there.
I told him to pack his little black bag and move along. I ain't got no more time to mess with him.
I thought he was the one going to take over your practice.
I couldn't trust my family to a superstitious quack like him. Why, his favorite medicine is moldy bread.
Still be living in the dark ages. Whatever it is you're cooking here, it sure is putting out the fumes.
It's my first try at a cure, Jed. Dripping through over yonder. 30 or 40 more batches, and I may have found what's going to rid the world of Granny's complaint.
Well, even if you don't, You have hit upon a surefire way of taking the leaves off trees.
What are you going to do with me? Where's Dr. Granny?
Take it easy, Mr. Drysdale. You're going to be just fine. All right now, nurse.
Well, I ain't your nurse.
Look, I'll be the doctor today, and tomorrow you can have a turn. All right, now, I prescribe a great big dopper of sulfur and molasses. I'll get that. You go on down and heat up some of that crow soup. Now, you stay right there, Mr. Drysdale. We'll be right back. Oh, howdy, Dr. Clyburn. Go on in and see how we fix Mr. Drysdale.
You mean Milburn Drysdale is in there?
Oh, yes, sir. And if you don't mind, we took the case.
Milburn, do you know what you got me into?
Don't tell me your troubles. Look what I've gotten myself into.
And it's all for nothing. Granny is not going back to the hills.
She not?
No, so that'll be $8 million.
Later. Help me get out of this before Granny sees me.
All right, now what about my $8 million?
Come on, we'll take your car.
Remember, Jethro, tomorrow you're the nurse.
Well, why don't we trade off every other week? I'm getting to like this doctor and stuff.
Looky, Jethro, Dr. Clyburn's done cured Mr. Drysdale.
What do you mean? That was my general purpose bandage. These hands, they was meant for healing. I got the gift.
Dad, I done it. Come quick. Dad, I found the cure, Dad.
What's the matter, Granny?
Dad, I found the cure, and on the first batch, I've cured Granny's complaint.
Granny, there ain't no cure for Granny's complaint.
There is now. It took care of all of my symptoms. I'm even seeing twice as good as I ever did before.
Twice as far?
Twice as many. There's two of everything. I'm even hearing bells I never did hear ring before.
There ain't no bells ringing.
That's because you ain't had none of my cure. The pains have all gone out of my joints. Instead of chills, I got a nice, warm feeling all over. My rheumatism has plumb disappeared. I feel like a young'un again.
Too bad. Come morning, she's in for one humdinger of a relapse. What is it, Granny? What's missing?
I knowed I should have kept it under lock and key. Letting it lay out there in the open like that was too much temptation.
Well, what's missing, Granny?
They didn't even touch the silver. Headed right for the valuables. Over 50 bars of my homemade lye soap.
Granny, good as it is, I don't know nobody who'd risk jail to steal your soap.
Just name any movie star. Why, they'd do worse than that. To get my skincare beauty secret.
Lye soap?
Of course. Ellie, tell your pa why my skin looks the way it does today.
Suppose it's because you've been out in the sun and the wind too long.
Who asked you?
You did, Granny.
Ellie, you seen any strangers prowling around Granny's lye soap?
Or movie stars?
No, but Jethro toted it all out of there. Maybe he's seen somebody.
What?
Jethro took it?
Yes, sir. He says for his nude business, there ain't no soap can touch it.
New business?
With my lye soap? What's he gonna do? Skin beautifying?
No, he's opening a car wash.
All right, Bessie, we's all set for my grand opening. You ready to take off with my advertising campaign? What do you mean, no? All you gotta do is float up a couple 1,000 feet and toss out these handbills.
Jethro!
Howdy, old Jet. I was gonna wait till I had my first customer before I called you, but what do you think of my new car wash?
What? Sometimes you act like you got grits for brains. You know how many of these places there already is in Beverly Hills?
Not like mine. This is the only one in the whole world that'll wash your car in just 5 seconds.
It is.
Yeah, that's because I'm the only fella that's smart enough to think of dunking them.
Dunking them?
It gets the car spanking clean, top and bottom. It's my own invention. You see, I just put the car in them chains over yonder and hoist it up with them ropes. It's hooked up to this block and tackle at either end. Then I just haul the car out over the water and slacken off and drop it in. Then I just slush it around a little bit and lift it out over to this side and let it drip dry. How about that? And what's more, for 10 cents extra, I clean the whole inside of the car, too. I just leave the windows open. What's the matter? I forget something?
For one thing, the shingle you're gonna need for your pants when Granny finds out what happened to her soap.
Oh, man, that's the secret to this whole operation. You see, even in cold water, Granny's lye soap cuts grease just like that.
Boy.
Of course, it is kind of tough on car paint, too, but I don't care much about repeat business.
You got 24 hours to drain this pond, pull down them ropes, and get this place back to normal.
Oh, come on, Uncle Jed. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to set this world on fire.
You're gonna clean up, all right. Everything. Or you're gonna end up with a seat of your britches on fire.
Well, if it ain't the king of the car washer.
Oh, yeah? If I'd have got my handbills out when I wanted to, I'd have been turning the customers away now. It's all that dad-blame Bess's fault.
What do you mean it's Bess's fault?
That monkey ain't nothing but a big, hairy chicken.
All right, kid. Where's that soap filter, Jethro?
Now, calm down, Granny. I've already got to the bottom of the trouble.
That's what I want to do. Where is he?
I'll help you make some more soap, but you won't need them hickory hide heaters.
It's the young'uns that need 'em, and the woodshed. Then we'd see how much mischief they could get into.
Now, Granny. I think it's more like they got too much time on their hands. I might go down and see can Mr. Drysdale find something for him.
You're wasting your wind. The couple of times you did put 'em to work, they were back home the same day.
I know.
I figure betwixt Ellie's secretarying and Jethro's ciphering, they made the other workers look sluggish.
Oh, Granny, I think it's on account of they remind him of his lost youth.
Lost youth?
Yeah. One day after the young'uns had worked down there, he told me it was like being back in Wall Street. One October Friday in 1929. Now that you mention it, when he told me, there was tears in his eyes, too. But I wasn't thinking of bank work. I'm hoping that he'll think of something more to their liking.
Well, you're going to have trouble with Jethro. I don't know of nobody that's looking to hire a professional eater.
Well, we'll come up with something. Boy's got good qualities. He's strong, he's eager. There's another good quality. He's clean.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. You remember my nephew and namesake, little Milburn Drysdale?
How do you do, Miss Hathaway?
Hello, Milby.
His parents asked me to keep an eye on him for a few hours while they're gone.
Where have they gone?
Europe.
Oh, Chief.
Oh, I'm just taking care of him for the day. Tomorrow he starts boarding school. Milby, why don't you go in my office and play? I'll be right in.
Yes, sir, Uncle Milburn.
Oh, he's a fine youngster. A credit to the Drysdale family.
Chief, how did you get stuck with keeping that miserly little monster again?
Just a minute, Miss Hathaway. Last year, when you took care of Milby, he was just going through a transition phase.
I know, like the wolf man.
Oh, come on now, he's a fine lad.
He is a grasping, avaricious, crafty, conniving little money grubber.
Yes, everyone says he reminds them of me as a boy.
At the age of 6, when other little kiddies were playing hide and seek, Milby had started his first business.
So every kid has a lemonade stand?
Milburn opened a pawn shop. Look, Chief, he needs other interests. He needs to go places and do things with someone he looks up to. So someone big and tall and strong.
I agree. You can have them all day.
Never again.
But I can't get away. You've got to take care of them.
Not even if you give me a whip and a chair.
Well.
Oh, hello, Uncle Milby. I hope you don't mind my borrowing this book from your desk.
Oh, not at all, my boy. Ah, a sympathetic look at Ebenezer Scrooge. That's one of my favorites. Now, what would you like to do today?
Well, a real fun thing is making money.
Good lad. I'll bet you're saving to buy a new bicycle.
No.
Well, how are you going to earn all that money?
I could start by betting you $5 that in 30 seconds your face will turn blue. Okay? Barefoot around the vault.
I'd like that too, my boy, but I'm very busy today.
Mr. Clampett is here to see you.
Mr. Clampet's a very important man. Milburn, please stop crying for Uncle Milburn. Mr. Clampett's my favorite depositor. He's got $70 million.
Something wrong in here?
How do you do, Mr. Clampett? My name is Milburn Drysdale.
Now, Mr. Clampett, as I understand it, you're worried Jethro and Ellie Mae have too much time on their hands.
Yeah, well, you see, there just ain't enough work on the place. Even with all the chores Granny and me can think up, they still got a good hour a day with nothing to do.
Water, Mr. Clampett?
Oh, no thanks, son.
Coffee? Tea? Milk?
No thanks.
He's a fine boy. He has a great career ahead of him.
Yeah, he's already a pretty good waiter.
Pillow for your head?
Oh, no thanks.
That's fine, Milby. Now, why don't you sit on the sofa and read, eh?
Oh, it's all right. I have my bank book.
Well, now, getting back to the young'uns. Ellie is kind of a problem. You see, once you toss out secretary...
Yes, let's toss that out.
And when you come to Jethro, there's say, you don't know anybody that needs a professional eater, do you?
No, but don't worry. I'll come up with something to suit his talents and education.
Good. Well, he said he'd take anything at all, as long as it's a executive job.
All right. Well, you'll have to give me a little time. We're pretty swamped here today. I'll even have to find somebody to take care of Milby for me.
Well, why couldn't he spend a day over at my place?
Please, Uncle Milburn. Please, if I can.
I think it'll be all right.
Yippee! Thank you, Uncle Milburn.
And you'll be giving Ellie a job at the same time. She'll be your babysitter. She's waiting outside. I'll go fetch her in.
Did you say a babysitter? For me?
Yeah. Here she is now.
But I'm 11 years old. Of course, I'm very insecure.
Ellie, you got a job. You're going to babysit little Milby there.
Howdy, Milby. You're the first human being I ever babysat for.
I am?
Yeah, but I ain't worried, because I'll just pretend you's an oversized monkey. Hey, Miss Jane, I got me a job babysitting Milby here.
What can the chief be thinking of? All right, Milby, you win. I'll take care of you instead of Ellie Mae.
You've got to be kidding.
Come on, Milby. We called Granny, and she's all excited about you coming.
I'm looking forward to meeting her.
I'll be up to check on you later, Milby. Be on your best behavior now.
Yes, sir, Uncle Milburn.
Well, come on, Milby. Boy, you're as cute as a little old bunny rabbit. Let's go, Milby.
Well, there you are, Milby. Make yourself to home.
Boy, would I love to go into the escrow in a place like this.
Sorry to disappoint you, Milby. It's got 32 rooms and 14 baths, but I don't think it's got escrow.
What's the matter, Jethro?
I'm mad. Before I even got it going, I had to shut down my 5-second car wash.
A 5-second car wash? Why, you could make a fortune.
Yeah, I know. Say, for a little kid, Milby, you're pretty smart.
Business is my middle name.
Hey, how much schooling you had?
I finished the 6th grade.
Hey, I should have known. You can always pick out the fellers with the higher education. I'm a 6th grade graduate myself. Hey, Milby, how old are you anyhow?
11.
11? And clean through to 6th grade? You must have started school before you could walk. Though she had awful easy teachers.
Granny! Wonder where she is.
I don't know. You try to catch it, and I'll look upstairs.
Okay.
Granny!
All right, I'm coming. Where is the little tyke?
Hey, what you got there? What is all this?
Everything for the little young'un that Ellie Mae is babysitting with. I got blankets and bottles and diapers.
I reckon I didn't make myself too clear on the phone, and, you know, the baby we brung home is 11.
Well, 11-month-old baby will still need a lot of care. I can hardly wait to hold the infant in my arms again. Where is the little bundle?
Well, Milby is out with Jethro.
You left him out there with that big clock. Jethro, carry in little Milby and be very careful with him.
Hey, little Milby is a big boy.
Here he is.
Hi. He is big for 11 months, ain't he? Almost as big as Jethro was at that age. Wait a minute. You ain't no little baby.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, Granny. Milby's 11 years old.
How do you do, Granny? My name is Milburn Drysdale.
You're named after Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, not quite, Granny. Milby's middle name is Business.
Milby Business Drysdale. That's a real high tone.
Come on out to the kitchen, have some milk and a piece of pie.
I wonder if I could have Jethro show me around the house first.
Well, all right. When you're through, come on out.
Hey, Milby, you mean you was turning down a piece of pie for a look around the house? I thought you was an educated man.
Look at this.
Well, what about it? Just an old vase.
It's a Ming vase.
Oh, it's for flowers.
Jethro, Ming is a famous Chinese dynasty.
Well, maybe so. But they's out of business by now. Mr. Drysdale says that vase is a couple thousand years old.
I'll give you $1 for it.
$1? For a couple thousand-year-old vase? I can't slicker you like that.
Then sell it to me for 50 cents.
Well, okay, sucker. But don't say I didn't warn you.
What was you heating all this milk for?
Well, I was expecting little Milky to be a tiny infant. And Jethro used to drink that much for his evening bottle.
Yeah, but you got to remember, even as a baby, Jethro had a mighty unusual hunger.
Yeah, there ain't many 3-day-old babies that can tie into a side of bacon like he does.
Especially when it was still attached to the hog. Seems like ever since, his body and his appetite have been trying to see which could get the biggest.
Yeah, too bad his brains didn't enter the race.
I believe it's Gainsborough.
I don't know his name, but he sure dresses funny.
I'd like to buy it, too.
Gee, Milby, you already bought an awful lot of stuff.
I told you, I'll give you a check when we get everything totaled up.
Okay, but, gee, I can't help feeling I'm taking advantage of a little kid. I mean, you're giving us $5 for this thing and don't even give off decent lies.
I'm buying it for a friend. He likes old junk and doesn't care what he spends.
Okay, then watch out, because I'm really taking you to the cleaners.
Swell. I'll give you $5 for the Gainsborough.
10.
$7.50.
Sold. Hot dogs. My Uncle Jed gonna be proud of me.
Here, sign the receipt.
I can't wait to tell him.
Why don't you wait until you can show him the check?
Okay. When he sees what a business genius I am, he'll let me run a 5-second car wash for sure.
Yeah, I want to see that. Will you show me how it works?
Right away. I'll flag down the first car I see and be ready for you in 5 minutes.
I'll be in the mortgage department. There may be a foreclosure.
I hate to interrupt your fun, but don't you think you should pick up Milby at the Clampetts?
Why? He's probably having the time of his life.
I don't doubt it, being just one bootlick away from $70 million.
I'll pick him up this evening. Now lay off. He's just a normal, high-spirited youngster.
Is it normal to be kicked out of 3 military schools in 1 year?
It happens.
For usury?
I don't care what the law says. 80% interest on a loan is not unreasonable.
I give up. Apparently, Milby is more important to you than the Clampett account.
Miss Hathaway, when it comes to that boy, my nephew, my namesake, my blood, I don't care whose face he turns blue. I don't care who he swindles, who he cleans out. No, not even my biggest depositor. You hear what I just said?
I heard it, but I don't believe it.
I must be out of my mind. Come on, we better get up to the Clampetts. When we get back, I've got to take a complete rest, a vacation. Somewhere completely away from finance, banking, money. Maybe I'll go up to the mountains. Pan for gold.
That's your truck down there?
Yeah. Them bubbles is on account of the engine still running.
What happened?
Well, I couldn't get no cars to turn in the driveway, so I used the truck. Got it out yonder, and the ropes broke.
And this was your 5-second car wash?
Yeah. There is a few kinks in it yet. Doggone. The engine just died.
Gee, I was counting on you hauling away the things I bought with that truck.
Oh, I'll get it out. Well, I'm sure glad I drove such a hard bargain selling all that stuff to you. At least I'll be able to show my Uncle Jed I done something right.
But remember, you won't show him until I'm gone. You have the check, right?
Hey, how does a little kid like you get all your money anyhow?
I use my head. For instance, this morning, I got $5 out of my Uncle Milburn. Nothing to it.
How'd you do that?
Cost you 50 cents to find out.
50 cents? For a way to get $5? It's a deal. Pigeon, partner. Hey, Uncle Jed, Granny, I just found out the best way to make $5 you ever heard of.
Well, what is it?
I'll show you. I'll bet you $5 that in 30 seconds, your face is gonna turn blue.
Jethro, I ain't a gambling man.
Go on, Ched. It's a sure thing.
All right, I'll bet you.
Okay, here we go.
All over my kitchen. How dare you come in here and make a mess like this, you big funnel brain!
Hey, now, wait a minute, Granny. I didn't
Hey, you big cabbage head!
Granny! Jethro, I told you to stay out of trouble while Milby was here. What have you been up to now?
Well, do you want to hear the good or the bad news first?
I got a feeling either way I'm gonna need my switches.
Now, you come on right over here and sit down. Well, reckon we might as well get the bad news out of the way first.
Well, it ain't that awful. It's just that I dropped the truck in the cement pond.
Where's the switches?
Stay right there, Granny. I'll fetch them.
Hey, now, hold on. Wait till you hear the good news. Oh, you'll forget all about the bad.
All right, start them jaws a-hopping fast.
Yeah, well, you know how this house is full of bric-a-brac and junk and paintings and stuff? Most of it hundreds of years old and just cluttering up the place? Well, I unloaded almost half a ton of it on that little Milby.
You what?
And he's not only taking it off our hands, he's paying almost $200 for it. How about that? Look at there. My good news just knocked her right over. Reckon I don't get no switching now, huh, Uncle Jim?
Not for the bad news, no, but you're gonna get a first-class rump roasting for the good.
Hi, Uncle Milburn. Miss Hathaway, I'm glad you're here.
What's going on here? What is this?
I bought it for us. Every piece of fabulous antique. All I need is your check to pay for it. Partner?
What are you talking about?
You're gonna be proud of me. I conned it out of these hillbilly hicks for less than $200.
It's worth 1,000 times that.
I know. We'll sell it and make a fortune.
Yes. Yes, we'll get rich. Drysdale and Drysdale. Antiques. What? Oh, yes, of course. To get Mr. Clampett. Now, we'll see if you really bought this stuff.
I've got signed receipts from Simple Simon. You know Jethro?
What, you little monster, you probably cost my biggest account.
Now, don't get excited, Uncle Milburn. How much do you want to forget the whole thing?
This is something you've been eating all your life, and you're not buying your way out of it.
It's gonna hurt you more than it does me.
Don't count on it.
He sure cleaned out the place, didn't he?
I'm just glad we arrived before Milby resold everything.
If the little fellow wanted it that bad, he should have asked. We'd probably give him most of the stuff.
It's Jethro's fault taking advantage of a sweet little fellow like that.
By the way, where's Jethro?
He's out back trying to get the truck out of the cement pond.
What's going on? Just disciplining my nephew, Mr. Clampett. I'll be right back and make amends for all this. Get in, Miss Hathaway.
You must have spanked him good. We could hear him yelling clean inside.
That's not what he was yelling about. He's used to spankings. I got him where it really hurts.
What you mean?
I took his money belt.
Jethro, how long you reckon it'll take us to get back to Silver Dollar City?
I figure about 4 or 5 days of hard driving.
We gotta get there quicker than that.
Yeah, the festival's fun Saturday.
Just getting over the Rockies will take 2 days in this thing.
Here, pour some of this in the gas tank.
Whoa, boy, hold on now. Granny, is that Mountain Dew?
Yeah. And it do get you over the mountain.
It do melt the engine, too.
Good. We don't want to miss the festival. Everybody and his dog will be at Silver Dollar City come Saturday.
We'll make it.
Is Aunt Pearl gonna meet us there?
How about that, boy? You heard from your ma?
No. But maybe there's a letter in this morning's mail.
I'll go to the box and see.
Hey, wait a minute, Ellie, that's my letter.
It sure will be nice to see Cousin Pearl again. And all the rest of the folks back home. Jim Owen, Mitch Ford, the Hershans.
I hear tell Pete Hershan had a baby.
Way I hear it, it was his wife. I guess that is pretty old, ain't it?
That's older than both of us.
I sure hope Jimmy Driftwood comes up from Timbo.
Me too, Granny. I love to hear that rascal play the mouthbow.
I bet they have a square dance that'll shake the hills.
With old Chick Allen and the Bald Knobbers playing the music. Swing your quickly, one all, swing your quickly round the hall.
Look what I got.
From your ma?
No, from the president.
President of what?
The president of the whole country.
You got a letter from Jeff Davis?
Randy, I keep telling you, he ain't the president.
Now, don't get into that scrap. Let me see, boy. My doggies is right, Granny. It says, the President of the United States to Jethro Bodine, greetings.
What does he want with Jethro?
He wants me to join the armed forces and fight for my country.
Can I join too, Paul?
Well, he didn't invite you, he just invited me.
Well, I can fight better than you.
You can neither.
I can too.
Can.
That's enough of that. According to this, Jethro, you ain't got but a few days to report.
Yeah, next Friday.
Well, you'll be driving us to the festival next Friday. Now, you go in there, call the president, and tell him you're too busy.
Now, wait. If he was kind enough to send greetings and a personal invite, the boy ought to show up on time.
Well, how are we going to get to Silver Dollar City?
I'll call Miss Jane, have her put you and Ellie on an airplane.
Why aren't you coming, Pa?
I think I'd best stay and see Jethro gets into the Army proper.
You mean Ellie and me ain't going to have no men folks to protect us?
You don't need no protection.
Jed, have you forgot what kind of men come up from them hollers at festival time? Why, even a woman at my age ain't safe from them bold rascals. Why, they's liable to grab me and kiss me and... Let's go call Miss Jane. She's likely to want to go with us.
Jethro is joining the Army?
Well, he's received his induction notice.
Well, don't worry. I've got some friends in the draft board. I'll call and use my influence. I'll make sure they take him.
In the first place, place, Jethro is anxious to serve his country. He's just trying to decide which branch of the service to apply for.
I was in the quartermaster corps myself. Made sergeant. Ran a little lending service on the side.
You never saw combat, did you?
Me? I went through some of the bloodiest fighting of the war. Got shot at a dozen times.
But you never went overseas.
When you lend money to soldiers at 40%, you don't have to. Mr. Clampett.
Howdy. Miss Jane, I put the women folks and the suitcases in your car. I sure do appreciate this.
My pleasure, Mr. Clampett.
Are you going back to the hills with them?
Well, they did invite me, but it's really up to Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, I'd love for her to go, but it would cost me $300 a week to replace her.
$300 a week?
Is it my fault you do the work of 4 women?
Certainly is. Mr. Clampett, are you coming to the airport with us?
Well, no, thank you. I got to talk money with Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, yes. Well, you run along. Well, going to deposit a little money, eh?
No, I'm going to draw some out.
Oh, it's a beautiful drive to the airport, Mr. Clampett.
I know it is, but I need some money for Jethro.
Oh, I see. A little pocket money for the soldier boy. Well, I'll take care of that. Now, let's see. His allowance is 50 cents a week, right?
That's right, but
And you want to give him a raise, reward him for his patriotism. That's a good idea. Let's show him how proud we are of him. We'll give him 60 cents a week.
What I had in mind...
Now, don't overdo it. After all, the government pays his expenses and gives him a handsome salary besides.
Yeah, I heard tell it costs the government $35,000 or $40,000 to train and equip each boy.
Right. Of course, in Jethro's case, it'll cost more. They have to feed him.
Reckon $50,000 to cover it?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, that's what I want to draw out. You told me that the government up in Washington was hurting for money and deep in debt.
Yes, but...
Well, I can't let the government pay for Jethro when I got all them millions just laying here in your bank.
But you just can't. People, you just can't.
Kid! Well, that's Jethro back from the studio. He went over there to look at all the different uniforms. In here, boy. He figured that'd help him decide which branch of the service to join.
How do you like it?
Dandy iron hat. You get you cornered, you can butt your way out.
Jethro, that's the uniform of a Prussian field marshal.
Hot dog!
If you show up at the induction center wearing that, they'll think... I like it. It's great. Now go right over it. And when you walk in, give it this. Tell them Bismarck sent you.
I ain't decided on this one for sure. I got a whole bunch of other uniforms.
Well, let's see 'em, boy.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, you wait right here now.
Jethro, my boy. Now that is you. Oh, they'll love you at the induction center, and when you get to the psychiatrist, pose like this.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drysdale.
Hey, wait a minute. I got another one I like even better than this one.
And doggy, look at them pistols.
Ain't they something? Well, this is the kind of uniform old Blood and Guts wore.
Who?
General Patton. He's my hero. A fighting fool. Rode around in a great big old tank.
How do you like it, Mr. Drysdale?
Fine, fine. They'll put him right in Section 8.
Is that good?
A lot of men try for it.
Dandy. Looks like you're all set, boy.
Oh, no, not till I get my tank.
Oh, that's right. You better make that 100,000. I said I ain't gonna let the government pay Jethro's bill. Now, go get yourself the best tank money can buy.
Hey, what's he crying about?
Sorry to see you go, I reckon. You in there, boy?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jet. Just a minute, I'll come out through the turret. Whew. Well, how do you like it?
That's small, ain't it? Looks like you got the run on a litter.
No, I think I'd start with this one. Then when I got the hang of handling the tank, give me one of them great big rascals.
Pretty fair-sized weapon on this little tank. Make a dandy goose gun.
Yeah, that rascal really reach out and bring him down.
What do you shoot in it?
Well, I couldn't buy no shells, but I got a hold of some blasting powder. Figure I'd muzzle load her and tamp in some rocks.
Don't shoot it around the neighborhood. These city folks is even jumpy about my squirrel gun.
Us tank generals drives mostly through fields and woods and stuff.
I'd stay out of downtown Beverly Hills if I was you.
Yes, sir. Figure the best woods is up in Griffith Park.
Ain't that where you played Robin Hood?
Yes, sir. But I done outgrow that kind of stuff.
Well, you got until Friday to practice driving and shooting.
Well, I sure could use some help in there. Hey, how about you being my crew?
I don't know nothing about them gadgets, boy.
Well, you could be a Prussian field marshal. I got the uniforms right there in the tank.
Oh, thanks. I'll call Mr. Drysdale. Maybe he can help you find a crew.
Okay.
I'm going to be Jethro's tank crew?
That's right.
That's why you asked me to wear my birdwatcher's uniform.
Exactly. You're going to watch the cuckoo. Besides, it's very hot in those tanks. You'll be more comfortable this way.
Gee, you can't ask me to do this.
Who's asking?
I refuse to ride through Beverly Hills in a tank.
Don't worry, you won't have to.
Oh, thank goodness.
The minute you leave the driveway, you'll be arrested.
Arrested?
Yes, the police will be there. I tipped them all.
Jethro and I will go to jail.
Only for a couple of hours, and I'll bail you out and be a big hero with the Clampett.
Gee, I don't want to go to jail, not even for 2 hours.
Oh, don't worry. You can make it up tonight.
You are all think.
Listen, I want that $100,000 back. Imagine wanting to save the government money. Why, it's un-American. Look at that nut.
Have a heart. If the Army finds out that Jethro is idiotic enough to impersonate a general, then they'll never take him.
Right. Now go report to your commanding officer.
Tank crew reporting for duty, sir.
Well, Miss Jane, you're a woman.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing that's been said to me all day.
What's the problem here? You having trouble with this soldier? You can be shot for disobeying a general.
It ain't that. I can't have a woman in my tank. You want people to think I'm a nut?
Certainly not.
Then you be my crew.
But I'm not in uniform.
There's plenty of uniforms in the tank. You can be a Prussian field marshal. Now, come on, hop in.
I'm not going.
Are you disobeying a general?
Okay. It's just a short trip.
That's what you think. We's going to Griffith Park.
Oh, sure. Just make a right turn as you go through the gate.
We ain't going through the gate. We's going out the back way and cut across country.
Jethro, I mean General.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. You and the field marshal have a nice trip.
Well, I see Jethro got himself a crew.
Yes, Mr. Drysdale volunteered.
Oh, I'm awful glad. He didn't seem too happy about this at first, but I reckon that...
Look! He's backing towards the garden wall, and there's no gate. Oh!
There is now. Hot little machine, isn't it?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, ma'am. This is Jed Clampett. Long distance? Pearl, how are you? Did Granny and Ellie Mae get there all right?
Yeah, Cousin Jed, the three of us is just fixing to leave for the festival. I sure wish you and Jethro was here.
Me too, Pearl, but I reckon Granny told you about Jethro.
Yeah. She says Jethro's been offered a job by the government. No, she didn't say what kind of job. But... Just a minute, Jed. Verna Bradshaw, you get off this line. I know you're there, I hear you breathing. And I ain't gonna have you blabbing to everybody in these hills who I'm a-talking to, so hang up. After all, what I've got to say to my rich cousin Jed in California, who lives in a mansion in Beverly Hills and has $70 million in the bank and just got back from his castle in England where he's known as the Earl of Clampett, is none of your business.
Well, now, Pearl, getting back to Jethro.
Oh, yeah, Jed. I want to hear all about that fine government job my big, handsome son with the 6th grade Beverly Hills education is gonna...
Verna Bradshaw, that is the rudest thing I ever heard tell of.
What'd you do, Pearl?
She hung up.
Pearl, the men is streaming by your house on the way to the festival.
I'm talking to Cousin Jade on the telephone.
Oh, Pearl, they're coming up out of the holler by droves. Big, old, good-looking rascals.
Granny, you want to say hello?
Hello? Hello, I'm there.
Granny, I mean to Cousin Jed on the telephone.
Hello, Cousin Jed.
Granny, you come over here.
Oh, all right. Ellie! You go out on the porch and slow them down. Now smile real pretty. Try and break their stride. They's walking too fast.
Yes, Ellie, honey, your pa's on the phone. Say howdy to him.
Oh, yes, my Pearl.
Oh, here comes that good-looking Walter McKeegan. Walter!
Granny, you stay away from Walter McKeegan. He's mine.
Howdy, Pa.
Howdy, Ellie. Sounds like Granny and Pearl's after the same fella.
Yes, sir. They's fighting out front. I best go help the loser.
Who's losing?
Mr. McKeegan.
All right, honey, you all have a good time now and tell Pearl not to worry about Jethro. He's doing just fine.
Come on. Let's get a breath of fresh air, and then we'll have target practice. Ah! Watch that, Von Hindenburg.
Sorry, General.
Ready? Aim!
You haven't got a shell in this gun, have you?
No.
Thank goodness. I wouldn't want to be in here.
Hey, Von Hindenburg! Come back here! Forget it! Are you deserting under fire?
You bet!
You can't get away from me! I can follow you anywhere in my tank!
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see you follow me across the lake.
I'll get you for this, you Prussian dog!
Yep. Sure enough. There they are. Tank tracks. Heading right off into the woods.
Now, hold it, Fred. This is just the kind of thing that got you and Tony split up. These wild reports from Griffith Park, like seeing Robin Hood.
But we saw him, Charlie. I swear it.
Just like you see these tank tracks, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that could be a bulldozer. They're cutting fire roads all over here.
But the park ranger said he saw the tank.
Get me that clown on the horn. I'll go to him. You know, they shouldn't leave those fellas alone up in those towers for so long. Gets to them.
Okay, Charlie, you're patched into the ranger.
Thanks. Hi. How are you? Say, about the report. What's that you say you're looking at? A man in uniform, in a small boat, crossing the water, about to be shot at. Tell me, is General Washington standing up, or is he... Oh, a German field marshal in the boat. Looks like von Hindenburg. Tell me, isn't your tower quite a long distance from the lake? Oh, you've got your glasses. What's in the glasses? Okay, no offense. Now, tell me more about the tank you claim you saw. Oh, that's what's just about to shoot at von Hindenburg. I see. I didn't get that. Who's driving the tank? General Patton. And now he's putting mud and rocks into the barrel of the gun and tamping him down with a broomstick. I see. Now, look, you just sit tight, and we're gonna have you airlifted out of there. And he has really gone ape.
He was right about Robin Hood.
Oh, come on, Fred.
Von Hindenburg in a boat, General Patton in a tank, getting ready to shoot at him? Let's get an air medic in a helicopter and...
I did it! Cameron! Cameron! No wonder Patton carried pistols. Shooting that cannon off is murder.
Stop it. I took the liberty of preparing a little snack for you.
Well, that was mighty nice of you.
Well, I plan to look after you and Jethro while you're batching it. By the way, I was just looking at Jethro's induction notice.
Wasn't that nice of the president to write to Jethro a special like this? His ma's going to want to frame it.
Yes. When did he have his physical?
His what?
His physical and mental examination.
Oh, well, the only examination I recollect is when he graduated 6th grade. He done real good, too, especially in ciphering. He got clean up to 9 times 7 before he missed.
You mean he's never had an Army examination?
Well, no, he don't go in till Friday.
Oh, well, then there's been some mistake. My nephew was just inducted, and you don't receive greetings from the president until you've had your examination.
Reckon the president could have found out about Jethro's good marks and just figured he was ready.
Okay. Now, you see that stump across the lake down by the water there?
Yes?
Well, that's your target.
My target? I'm not going to shoot this thing.
Are you fixing to desert again?
No.
Okay, well, you get in there and button up. I'm going to get in the boat and row across the lake and see how good you do.
Yeah, you do that. Clear across. Then hide behind some trees.
There it is.
Where?
Right through those trees.
My golly, it is a tank. Come on.
It's von Hindenburg.
Guten Tag, Herr Field Marshal.
All right, come on out.
Kommen Sie aus, schnell. Kommen Sie here, Herr Hindenburg.
I'm not Hindenburg.
Hey, that's the nut was playing Robin Hood.
Really?
And he'll claim that he's president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills.
Don't let this uniform fool you. I'm president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills.
Ja, und ich bin Kaiser Wilhelm. Was gibt es Neues?
Now, I'll show you.
Hey, Charlie, where did you learn to sprechen the Deutsch?
I was parachuted behind the German lines, was captured, and spent 6 months in a prison camp.
I thought you were in the Quartermaster Corps.
I was, but I had to transfer to the paratroops for more pay.
How come?
Well, I borrowed a couple of $100 from this quartermaster sergeant. That Shylock charged me 40% interest compounded semi-daily.
Semi-daily?
Yeah, he had his hooks in me, but good. Hounded me day and night.
See, fellas, I'm not von Hindenburg. In fact, I'm an ex-GI, a veteran.
Really?
I was a sergeant in the Quartermaster Corps.
Hey, I was in the quartermaster corps.
Well, I was at Fort MacArthur.
I was at Fort MacArthur, too.
How about that?
Yeah. I borrowed some money from a sergeant called Dracula Drysdale.
You did?
Looked a lot like you. I don't believe I caught your name.
Von Hindenburg. I've been hiding in Argentina for 50 years.
How'd it go, boy? No good, Uncle Jet. My crew deserted me. I'm gonna turn this thing in and get the truck back.
You drop me off at the sheriff?
Oh, sure. Come on, hop in.
I gotta take $2,500.
Well, what for?
Well, $500 is for Mr. Drysdale's bail. And $2,000 is what he owes.
Boy, I ought to shoot that Mr. Drysdale.
If we don't get this money down there, there's a fella named Charlie gonna do it for you. Right on, boy.
Gee, this is shocking. I know what you're looking at in those viewers. Girly pictures. Ah, ba-ba-boo. Would you look at that?
That's $250,000 in pure gold.
I picked these up at the banker's stag.
Mr. Drydale, Miss Jane?
Mr. Clampett, come in, come in. How are you?
I'm feeling frisky as a new shorn sheep.
Wonderful. When you're happy, I'm happy. Miss Hathaway, give all the employees a coffee break.
Chief, did you mean it? A real coffee break?
Shoot the works, 3 minutes.
They'll never forget you for this.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I want to draw out some money.
Miss Hathaway, cancel the coffee break. How much?
Oh, just a couple of dollars.
Oh, go ahead with the coffee break.
You see, I got to get some things for my new job.
Job? Oh, Mr. Clampett, you don't need a job. You have $62 million in my bank and more coming in every day.
That's right. And it keeps on coming in whether I'm sitting, standing, or snoring.
Isn't it wonderful?
No, it ain't. A man has got to earn his keep in order to be happy. That's the reason I went down to the, what you call, Department of Employment and hired myself out for wages.
You didn't?
I did, and they give me something I think I'm going to be real good at. It's outdoors, moving around a lot, getting a lot of exercise.
What is the job, Mr. Clampett?
Well, all I have to do is ride around hanging on this truck. And we go down the street, and we stop next to these big cans, and I just heave them up and empty them in the back of the truck.
You're a
sanitation engineer. And here's the part you're going to like. They take out for Social Security and retirement, but that still leaves a pretty big chunk that's going right in your bank every week. Oh, Mr. Let that cheer you up. Well, I got to go pick up my uniform. Bye now.
Chief, the employees want me to express their gratitude for the coffee break. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a
Will
jolly
you
good
shut up? My largest depositor just became a garbage man. I called you right away, John. With Mr. Clampett holding the lease on your largest oil field, I knew you'd want to talk to him.
No, I already have a garbage man.
Stop joking. I could become the laughingstock of Beverly Hills.
Oh, calm down, Melbourne. The man just wants to do something useful. All that's necessary is to come up with a different job.
I knew you'd have the answer. When can he start?
Hold it, hold on. I respect Mr. Clampett a great deal. There's nothing for him to do at OK Oil. What about the bank?
The last time he worked there, he had the bank buy $3,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
I thought we'd never get our money out of that deal.
Felt so silly standing in the corner wearing a Girl Scout uniform.
How do you think I felt in mine?
Melbourne, you should put Mr. Clampett in a job that sounds useful but doesn't contribute anything. Something unimportant.
I have it at the board of directors.
Miss Hathaway.
Wait now. The directorship on your board might be just the thing to keep Mr. Clampett busy but out of trouble.
My board? Why can't OK Oil take him?
This is your problem, Melbourne. As long as Mr. Clampett is happy and continues to sign my lease, it doesn't bother me that he collects garbage. After all, somebody's got to do it.
Has Jed come down yet?
Not yet, Granny, but we's ready for him.
I hope you're proud of your paw. Walking right in and getting himself a fine job with the government.
Boy, I wish I worked on one of them big trucks. Well, they got a machine on the back that takes out old trash and... Crash, bang, and that's the end of it. I'll get it. Hi, Jethro. Howdy, Miss Jane. You're just in time to see Uncle Jed off. Howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Mr. Brewster. How are you?
Fine.
Ain't it wonderful about Jed's new job?
Yes, I'll bet he'll have his hands full. I didn't mean his hands full. I mean, he'll be up to his neck in...
Here he comes.
Look at there.
I need something.
Seeing a man in uniform always did make my heart beat a little faster. Now, you two go fetch the truck. I don't want Jed to be late. This calls for a celebration. I'm going to break open my jug and some glasses. You can help me, Miss Jane.
All right, Granny.
Oh, not for me, Granny. I'm going on duty, you know.
Mr. Clampett, I've been thinking about the job on that truck.
Yes?
I don't quite know how to say this, but sometimes people take jobs only to find out they should have taken jobs other than the jobs they have. And, well...
I think I know what you're going to say.
You do?
And stop worrying. I know I can get you a place on the truck with me.
No, I didn't...
Try the board of directors.
What?
Mr. Drysdale has something he wants to ask you.
Now, wait, John.
What is it, Mr. Drysdale?
Well, it's... Mr. Clampett, how would you like a job as a director for OK Oil?
I already got a job. I'm what you call sanitation.
I know. This is for your dear friend, John Brewster.
He didn't ask me.
It's not easy for a man like John to come begging for help.
Things that bad down to the oil company?
Just say yes, please.
I don't rightly know what a director does, but if he needs me.
So, what's the decision? Are you on the board of directors?
You betcha, Mr. Brewster.
Wonderful.
That's what friends is for. And just as quick as I turn in my uniform, I'm going to work for OK Oil.
Gentlemen.
Don't worry, John. Mr. Clampett will be here any minute.
That's what worries me. I've already got a new director who's on my back because of falling profits. Now you've given me Jed Clampett to shove down his throat.
Just tell him Mr. Clampett owns your biggest oil field.
Well, that doesn't make him director material to E.W. Bratchner.
Tough, huh?
They call him the Wolverine.
Good morning, Mr. Bratchner. Nice having you with us.
That's what you think.
Morning, neighbor.
Were you addressing me?
Yes, sir. My name is Clampett. I'm here to start work, but I didn't know exactly what I'd be doing, so I brung all my tools.
I don't know where you belong, man. Try down the hall.
Well, thank you. I will.
That's Bratchner. He flew in on the company plane an hour ago.
Well, good luck, John. I'll be leaving now.
Oh, no. You got me into this. Now you're going to stick around for the fireworks. Morning, gentlemen. As you know, I called this special meeting to elect a new director to the board. I only hope the meeting will be better than the coffee we just had. Drysdale of the Commerce Bank will be sitting in with us today.
Who is this new director? Where is he?
Well, actually...
Hope the noise ain't bothering you. I seen this loose carpet in here, and I didn't want nobody to trip. Well, howdy, Mr. Brewster. Mr. Drysdale. I've been wandering around here like a cow in a cornfield looking for something to do.
Gentlemen, our new candidate for the board of directors. So, gentlemen, by virtue of the large part Mr. Clampett has played in the success of OK Oil, I propose that he be elected to the board of directors.
Here, here.
May we have the vote?
Just a moment. I can appreciate the fact that Mr. Clampett owns some valuable real estate. But if I may speak candidly, it does not qualify him to be a director of a multifaceted industrial complex. Mr. Clampett, would you please tell me what positions you have held in the past?
Well, yesterday I was a sanitation engineer.
What kind of engineer?
Oh, that's working on a truck, collecting table scraps, leftovers.
He's a garbage man. I'm not electing him to my board of directors.
Mr. Bratchner, he has $62 million.
He does? Well, any garbage man who can collect $62 million has to have something on the ball.
Say,
got something here I think you'll enjoy.
Gentlemen, may we have the vote, please? All those who favor Mr. Clampett's election to the Board of Directors, raise their hands. Mr. Bratchner. Oh, yes, by all means. Congratulations, Mr. Clampett.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, now that I'm a director, can I get back to the loose carpeting?
Oh, no, Mr. Clampett, that'll be taken care of. We need you for more important things.
Well, that's what I'm here for, to help.
Oh, good. Just have a seat.
Oh, howdy, Pa. We come to watch.
Uncle Jed, you directing yet?
Sure am, young'un. Say, I'd like you to meet these nice folks. Where's Granny?
Here I am. Somebody ought to fix that loose carpet.
I hate to say I told you so.
How do you do, Granny?
Howdy. What's everybody slicked up for? Is it a wedding or a funeral?
This is a board of directors, Granny. I was just elected unanimous.
Good. I got a whole basket of celebrating victuals for you. Hey, Grouchy, how would you like a pickled hawk egg? Them directors must have been right upset about something. They hardly touched my victuals.
I know what's bothering them, Granny. The OK Oil Company can't find no new well.
Well, don't tell them about the one in our backyard.
Yeah, I plumb forgot about that.
Remember when I was digging that root cellar? When I swung that old pick and pow, there was oil everywhere.
Hope you ain't gonna unplug the hole, Pa.
Ellie, a friend's in trouble, and I'm on the board of directors now. Could be we might have to.
I got the case for the chain.
I got the clippers.
Well, Mr. Brewster or not, I was hoping that oil would give up and went away.
I don't know just how you feel, Granny, but we got to look.
Here comes the plug.
It's gone. The oil is gone. It's a dry well. It's a dry well. It's gone.
Well, there it is, another dead-blasted fortune.
What do you mean you can't find that leak? That pipeline's been losing 30 barrels an hour for the past 2 hours.
Yes, I know, but here the line goes under the city of Beverly Hills. And it would be almost impossible to dig under the...
Surprise!
Surprise!
Surprise! Surprise!
It's them again.
Let me out of here.
He's gonna steal!
Mr. Brewster, we brought you a present. Your oil trouble is over.
Well, this is crude.
I know, but we had to put it in anything we could find.
I more where this come from.
Well, exactly where did it come from?
Well, I'd rather not tell, but it's real handy. You might say right in my own backyard.
Mr. Clampett, how many barrels an hour is this well of yours producing?
Well, I don't know, but in a couple of minutes it'll fill up a churn, a cheese crock, a milk pail, and 3 fruit jars.
Well, you live here on Crestview Drive, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clampett, this is my oil.
That's right. It's all yours, and we don't want no thanks for it, and if you can arrange it, no money.
Well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Clampett.
Hey, you better find where to empty these, Uncle Jed.
Yeah, we want to fill them up again.
Well, ordinarily, it would go down to the refinery here in Long Beach.
All right, family, grab your oil and try not to spill none.
You can come out now, gentlemen. I found the leak. Melbourne, regardless of how it makes them feel, I have got to tell the Clampetts the truth. That oil they're giving me is from my pipeline.
Please, John, don't tell them. I'll jump out of the car.
Oh, sit down, Melbourne, sit down. All right, you keep them away from the place long enough for my men to fix that leak. I won't say anything.
Thank you, John. I'll think of a way. Get busy, Miss Hathaway.
Well, we could send them out in the OK Oil Company plane to look for new oil fields.
John, I have it. We could send them off the OK Oil Company plane to look for new oil fields.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How much longer are we going to fly these VIPs around in circles? Mr. Brewster said he'd need at least 3 hours. Something about getting a pipeline patched. Well, then what? Then we do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Just keep them happy.
I ain't gonna fly, Dad, and you can't make me. I ain't got wings, feathers, or a beak. And you ain't getting me off the ground.
I keep trying to tell you we are off the ground. We've been flying for a half hour.
Yeah, we must be 15,000 feet in the air.
Well, he is high up. Look at that little cow down there. He ain't no bigger than an ant.
Granny, that is an ant on your window.
I sure don't see no oil fields.
Heck, you wouldn't know an oil field if it come up and bit you on the nose.
Would you?
Well, no.
What a wild goose chase that was. We was up in that plane for hours without seeing a slough.
Sure hated to give up, but I've been looking through those spyglasses for so long, it felt like we was going around in circles.
Well, at least you found one well. Jed, it's dried up.
Sure has petered out. Dry as a mouthful of cotton. Poor Mr. Brewster, we got him all excited over a flash in a pan.
What are you going to say to him?
I don't know, but I hate to tell him that this well has turned out to be a duster and we ain't found another.
Maybe you can think of something else to make money for his company.
I already started studying on it.
Hey, Uncle Jed, let's get back on that plane.
Just so hush up. Can't you see your Uncle Jed is studying on something?
But I found this book about flyers and flying. All about fellas like Rickenbacker and Lindbergh and things.
Just so hush up.
But I want to get back up there and learn how, so I can get me some paying passengers and earn me some spending money.
Yes, so. Will you be quiet? Can't you see you're making so much noise your Uncle Jed can't think?
Hush up a minute.
I told him to.
Not him, you. Always got the answer.
I do?
That whole company plane is going to waste. We could take on passengers and make the OK Oil Company a barn full of money.
John, what's this all about? You pulled me out of a meeting.
We haven't a moment to lose. It's the Clampetts.
I thought they were in your company plane.
That's the trouble. The airport director called me and they're selling tickets to go anywhere in the world.
Oh, wait a minute. How many have they sold?
Who knows? On top of that, Braxton's on his way out to the plane expecting to be flown back to New York.
Howdy. I'll have this nailed down before you know it.
Welcome aboard to OK Airlines. Just sit down anywhere.
Thank you. Excuse me. We're supposed to sit on benches?
Yes, sir. We can carry more folks that way.
Yeah, that means I can take it to Albuquerque.
You're flying to Albuquerque?
That's right. Where are you going?
Bombay, India.
Bombay. I wonder why they put us on the same plane.
It's a strange route. Maybe it's one of those special tourist deals.
Well, all I know is my ticket costs only $10.
So did mine.
$10 to India?
Yeah. Round trip.
They must know what they're doing. Well, at least they hire pretty stewardesses. Well, didn't you see her? A real luscious doll. And a little cat.
You know, buddy, you have a strange taste in women.
What's going on here? What have you done to this plane?
Now listen, Grouchy. We're letting you ride free. On account of you're a director, but you gotta sit down and be quiet.
What's this?
This is Jed's idea. In case we hit a bump. There. That ought to hold you. That's a granny knot.
I think this entire OK Oil Company is a commie plot.
He's going to take off.
Is these all the tickets you sold, Ellie?
Right so.
Well, it'll take us a little while before we get known. But in the meantime, we got to be on schedule.
Say, are you the pilot of this thing?
No, I'm the co-pilot. One of the VIPs who thought of this offered to sit in for me.
Yeah. What kind of a flyer is he?
Strange. Real strange.
This here's your co-captain, Jethro Bodine. We's taking off for New York, Albuquerque, and Bombay, Indians. We's gonna be flying at an altitude of about, real high anyway. Hope you enjoy your flight. Oh, yeah.
You know, John, the Krampus might have something. That plane holds, what, 10 or so comfortably at $300 a shot? Oh, we could make a fortune by then. John? What's the matter, John?
That's the OK Oil Company.
Airplane!
What are you doing? I just stepped on the clutch and shifted into second. That's the throttle, and that's the rudder. I thought you said you had your wings. I do. See here? This is Captain Midnight.
Those ropes were sure a good idea, Jed.
Yeah, well, this might be a good time to offer up the free drinks.
All right, passengers, we is going to serve you free drinks. Now you got your choice of coffee, tea, buttermilk, or hot mouth.
Who's flying this thing?
I think you all better have hot mouth.
I want to turn back.
Me too. I think we better spring our special bonus attraction.
Right. Now you're in for a special treat. Something you probably didn't count on at these prices. Are you ready, Jed?
Ready, Granny?
All right, hit it.
Here you are. We've been out of our minds. Are you all right?
Sure. For some reason, the fellow was going to Bombay, decided to get off at Albuquerque.
Oh, what about Mr. Brassner? Did you land him in New York?
Nope.
Oh, no.
He liked the service so well, he bought a round-trip ticket.
It weren't the service. It was my rheumatism medicine.
Rheumatism medicine.
Braxton. Oh. It's good to be back in New York, gentlemen. A fine flight. Oh, take a peek at this, buddy.
Oh, good. You're both here. I want to have a family confab. Where's Ellie?
Well, she's out back with her critters.
Ellie Mae?
Yeah, Pa?
Come on in here. Going to have a family confab. Well, as you all know, poor widow Fenwick and her young'un is coming to spend the day, and we all got lots to do. Fenwick. Hold it. We'll start doing right away. I'd like to say a few words first. Now, let's commence with the victuals. Oh, Granny, I mean the victuals for the Fenwicks. What you got planned?
Oh, possum stew, grits and jowls, some corn pone, and some pickled crawdads.
Sound a little rich for folks that ain't ate for a while.
Well, maybe you're right, Jed. To get the wrinkles out of their belly, I'll start them off with some nice hot owl soup.
That'll be fine. Now, Ellie, you, Jethro, delivered them that box of clothes, right?
That's right, Pal.
I never knowed there were so many needy folks in Beverly Hills.
Me neither. My doggies, you gotta admire that widow Fenwick. She's poor but proud. Jethro and Ellie tells me that right across the front of this little house of hers, she's got writ big as life, Fenwick House.
I have not refused to visit the Clampetts. It's just that I can't bring myself to wear those dreadful clothes.
They are not dreadful. They are the very latest fashion introduced at the Willows Finishing School by Miss Ellie Mae Clampett herself. Don't you understand, Mummy? The latest thing is to look basic and understated. It has something to do with Zen.
But they just don't look right.
Mummy, when a girl as rich as Ellie Mae Clampett wears something, it's got to be right. Now, come on, let's not be the last millionaires in Beverly Hills to get the new look. The Clampett look.
Found the box of clothes, Uncle Jed. Right here's where Ellie and me left them.
Jethro, I seen places with little or nothing in them, but this is pitiful.
A chair to sit in. Nor a bed, neither.
Ain't got a wash bowl, or a pitcher to fill it with water, or a window big enough to throw it out.
Hey, Uncle Jed, we gonna bring them some stuff?
No, Jethro. You couldn't squeeze enough stuff in this place to make it fit for two women to live in.
Well, then what are we gonna do?
We gotta get him to move into our place. It ain't gonna be easy, with her being such a prideful woman. But it just ain't right for us to have so much stuff and to let them live here in a place like this. Now there's something I just can't understand. How can folks live in a big, fine house like that and let a poor, starving widow and her young'un live in a place like this right outside their gate?
Uncle Jed, let's go up and give them what for.
It ain't for us to speak judgment on them. Maybe the spirit of love will take hold like it did Miss Drysdale.
The Clampetts are moving from lot to lot. The Clampetts are moving from lot to lot. And I am so happy.
Miss Drysdale?
Splendid. You came back with another load.
Well, now, hold on. We decided not to move these things.
Why not?
Well, we're hoping that the Fenwicks will move in and use them here.
The Fenwicks? Mrs. Radnor Fenwick?
Yes, ma'am. You know, the widow with the skinny daughter named Cynthia.
They are moving into this house?
Well, we're hoping they will.
But this is marvelous. I've been trying for years to meet Mrs. Radnor Fenwick, and now she's going to be my next-door neighbor.
Well, it ain't for certain yet.
Have you engaged a real estate agent to help you sell them on the place?
No, ma'am, we just kind of figured on talking them into it when they come over.
I'll help you. I'll dash home and change and come back and help you.
You see what I mean, Jethro? The spirit of love has put wings on her feet.
I'll say, Uncle Jed. Just look at her go over that head.
Oh, really, Mummy, and that makes you look just like any other common, ordinary, everyday millionaire. Now, take it.
No, Sophie, I can't. I just can't.
Well, you must.
I just can't.
Mummy, if anyone were actually to see you, I would die of mortification. Mummy, I thought I told you, no jewelry.
No, Cynthia, I feel positively nude without diamonds.
You're trying to achieve the Clampett look, a look of studied slovenliness.
Oh,
Beasley, our purses, please.
No, Cynthia, not those buckets.
Be silly, Mummy. Yesterday, Ellie Mae Clampett carried one to school, and the effect was devastating.
Oh, dear, if your father could see us now, he'd just turn over in his mausoleum.
Beasley, get the rolls out of sight quickly. We'll call you if we need you.
Yes, Beasley, park it close by. Yes, I'll phone you to the front seat number.
Oh, Mommy, look at that.
Yes. Disgraceful, isn't it?
Disgraceful? It's fabulous. Unbelievably understated. It's probably the only purely existentialist car in Beverly Hills. They must have it copied.
Cynthia, we've used nothing but rolls for decades.
Oh, Mommy, this is progress. Don't you understand?
Frankly, no. I seem to have lost all sense of values. It's like a nightmare.
Don't you want me to set the table in the fancy eating room?
I reckon not, Ellie. We gotta be special careful not to put on airs around the poor widow.
Let's eat in the kitchen family style like we always have.
Well, that's a good idea. If we want the Fenwicks to move in here with us, we gotta make them feel like this family.
Jed, is the Fenwicks moving in with us lock, stock, and barrel?
Granny, the Fenwicks ain't got a lock, stock, and barrel to move in with. Right, Ellie?
That's right, Pa. Not even a rain barrel.
He ain't got a pump. He ain't got a place to wash at all.
Well, the best thing to do when they get here is to stick them in the tub and scrub them down.
I don't think they'd take to that right off.
Hey, Ella May. Come on, Ellie, let's go swimming.
What's the matter with you? We've got company coming.
Oh, Granny, I'm hot and tired.
You get into some decent clothes.
Now, hold on, Granny. I think maybe Jethro solved their problem.
You see there, Granny? I solved your problem. What problem, Uncle Jed?
Getting the Fenwick scrub without shaving them none.
You mean I should do it?
Oh, you just go for a swim in the cement pond and take along a cakey Granny's lye soap and a nice stiff brush. Ellie Mae, when the widow and her young'un get over here, you invite them down to the cement pond for a swim.
Okay, Pa?
When they get down to the pond, Jethro, you commence the soaping and the scrubbing and the splashing, and they'll get the idea.
Dingies, that's a first-rate notion.
Well, thank you, Granny.
There goes that spooky music coming out of the walls again.
Sure is pretty.
Yeah, I hope it keeps playing until the widow gets here. It might cheer her up.
Well, someone best open the door. As soon as that music starts to play, someone's going to come a knocking at the door.
Yeah, I noticed that. Take a look outside, Ellie.
I just can't through with it.
Mommy, please, you can do it. Come on, I'll help you.
They's coming, but that poor old widow woman can't hardly make it.
I'll get my jug.
Is they wearing the clothes you bring them?
Yeah, Pa, and toting buckets.
To carry home leftovers. Lord love 'em. Let's go give 'em a helping hand.
Howdy there, Cynthia. This here's my Pa, and I reckon this is your mom.
Welcome, welcome. Well, dogged if you ain't plumb tuckered with a Fenwick, but don't you worry. Granny'll fix that.
Folks.
Take their buckets out to the kitchen, Ellie.
Yes, sir, Pa. See you in a little bit, Cynthia.
Thank you, darling. Too low.
Ellie Mae, be sure they're scoured good and don't leak. Do it, Granny. Here, widow, this'll brace you up.
Oh, thank you. Orange pickle?
No, white lightning.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the blend, but tea is tea.
Got her to breathing deep.
Here, Mommy, have a cigarette, darling.
Oh, I wouldn't light a flame so close to your maw just yet. You just might set her off.
Come on, widow. Let's go to the kitchen. I'll give you a nice hot bowl of owl soup.
Owl soup? Oh, Cynthia, please send for the rolls.
No, Mommy.
She's right, Witter. You don't need no rolls. Granny's baked some corn pone.
Eat my corn. Come on, Witter.
Oh, Cynthia, please help me.
Mr. Clampett, if I might be alone with Mommy for just a few moments, I think I shall be able to compose her.
Okay, Cynthia. Just follow your nose to the kitchen.
Yeah, the grits and jowls will lead you right to the door. Good damn, widow.
Cynthia, did she say grits and jowls?
Yes, Mummy, doubtless the maid and the butler. Now, come, do get a grip on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Mummy, think of all the trouble the Clampetts have taken to achieve a total look. The truck, those clothes, their speech.
Why, they even weave. You'd weave, too, if you ever drank their tea.
Let's try to emulate them.
They'll never sell this house to the Fenwicks.
We can practice on the cleaning woman. Howdy there. Are you Grits?
I beg your pardon? Oh, we all is looking for grits and jowls.
Well, you'll find them in the kitchen. And please stay there, out of sight.
Now see here.
We uns is friends of the Clampets.
Obviously. And the sooner you're all out of Beverly Hills, the better. Meantime, stay out of sight in the kitchen.
That is the surliest cleaning woman I've ever seen.
See, Mummy, even the Clampets have a servant problem.
Yes, for the first time, I'm beginning to feel a common bond with them. We're both members of an oppressed minority group. Millionaires. Oh, there you are. We're still looking for grits and jowls.
Oh, we'll get to them directly. Ellie.
Oh, Cynthia, I bet you and your ma would like to go swimming, huh?
I wouldn't.
And now neither would I.
We got a dandy pond, all made out of cement. Nice clean water in it, too.
And plenty of room to splash around and work up a good lather.
No, thank you.
No, I'll pass, too.
Maybe they just like to look at the pond. Show them, Ellie.
Okay, Pa.
No. We're not interested.
We didn't even bring shoes.
Well, I got one that'll fit you.
And I'll try and find one for you at a base my possum, Jed.
Yeah, now come on, ladies. Pond's right out here. Come on, here you go. It's right over there to the right.
Peculiar behavior. Why do you suppose they're so insistent that we come up?
Mummy, looky there.
Magnificent.
What a specimen of manhood.
Who do you suppose he is?
Let's find out.
Clampett! Oh, Mr. Clampett.
Who is that Adonis by the side of the pool?
Adonis?
That magnificent creature with the rippling biceps.
Let's take a look, ma'am.
That's why they wanted us to see the pool. They're going to attempt a little matchmaking.
Oh, I hope so.
Right there is Duke.
Duke?
He has a title?
Yeah, Duke.
Duke of what? Where's he from?
Well, he was born in Oxford. He's been with us since he was a little feller.
Then he's the Duke of Oxford.
Yeah, I reckon so. We just call him Duke.
He hasn't got a wife, has he?
Well, he's had his share of lady friends, but nobody rides a moment.
Cynthia, I sure do hope you change your mind about going swimming.
Oh, I have.
Oh, Cynthia, you seem right fond of Duke. If you want him to like you, just tickle him behind the ear.
He just loves that, Cynthia.
And when he lays over on his back, scratch his belly.
If they don't stand there, get scratching.
Sure, where to change, Ellie?
Okay, Pa.
Mr. Clampett, I imagine that Cynthia and I do appear a bit eager, but I want you to know that my daughter is worthy of royalty. We Fenwicks are a very, very old family.
Oh, now, Witter, don't talk like that. There's many a good tune left in an old fiddle.
Here's a brand new swimming suit. Never been wore before. It was give to Jed here for a wedding present. Remember, Jed? Too big. Wouldn't be enough left sticking out to wash. Wash? We'll make do. You better leave the room, Jed. Go on out to the laundry tub, Witter, and peel your shirt off.
Cut it out, Ellie. Oh, excuse me. Howdy, ma'am.
Your Grace.
Yours, too.
Permit me to present myself to you.
Well, thank you very kindly, but I don't think my Uncle Jed would let me keep you.
Oh, Your Grace.
Yours too.
I am Cynthia Fenwick.
Oh, hey, is your ma coming?
No, we are quite alone.
Well, shall we go in the water?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, then why don't you just sit here and you can watch me?
Oh, Your Grace.
Yours too. Now watch here. Are you watching, Cynthia?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, now, here we go. You get the idea?
Well, it looks as if you are taking a bath.
That's right. Come on in.
Your Grace.
Yours too.
Mobile operator, give me JL 13411. No, make that 12. I want the front seat.
I thought I told you to stay out of sight in the kitchen.
Now look here. I have taken all the abuse I intend to take in this house. Clamp it look or no clamp it look. Duke or no Duke. I refuse to... Oh, Beasley! Come quickly, please. This is...
Now you get out of here. And take that other antique with you.
I refuse to take orders from a poorly dressed, ill-mannered, overweight cleaning woman.
Why, you loutish hillbilly. I am Mrs. Milburn Drysdale.
And what does that mean?
It means that I am a pillar of society.
You were a pillar. I am cutting you down to a stump.
Don't you dare pull a knife on me.
The only thing I'm going to pull on you is your head.
Yeah, Jethro, Granny said she had trouble scrubbing the witter. How'd you do with the daughter?
I tried, Uncle Jed, but that girl ain't washed in so long I couldn't sell her on the idea.
Granny said the witter bucked like a mule, too, and then she busted loose and run.
Can we eat now?
Yeah, Jethro, scoot up the back way and get some clothes on.
You know something, Uncle Jed? That skinny little rascal, all she wanted to do was tickle me behind the ear and scratch my belly.
Paul, come quick. Miss Drysdale and the widow Fenwick is having a real cat fight in the front hall.
Let me up, you female wrestler. I'll have you drummed out of Beverly Hills.
Sylvia Carter, hold her right there. Now I'm gonna finish the job. Widow Fenwick.
Did you call her Fenwick?
I did.
Here now, get off that poor starving Miss Fenwick. You all right, witter? You all right?
Oh, I have never been less all right in my entire life.
Beasley's here. What's the matter?
Ask no questions. Just flee for your life.
Uncle Jed, can we please eat now?
Not me and you, Jethro. A fellow named Beasley just grabbed the witter and her young and made off with them. Come on, we gotta catch them.
Right in there, Uncle Jed. And now the gates are closed.
Well, I'll be doggone. That Beasley feller's the one that lives in that big mansion.
And he's taking the widow and Cynthia into his house.
And bowing and scraping to him, too.
Uncle Jed, you was right about not speaking judgment on that rich fella.
Yeah, looks like the spirit of love sure took a hold of him, all right. Come on, Jethro, let's go home and have some possum.
Beats me how Ellie Mae can make these donors without using cement. Maybe she does use cement. Hello, Granny speaking. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. How are you?
Fine, Granny. We've just received a telegram addressed to Ellie Mae Clampett in care of the bank. Shall I send it over?
No. Open it and read it to me. I've been waiting for that.
It's from the Savory Soup Company, and it says, oh, there must be some mistake. It says that Ellie Mae has won a cooking contest.
No, that ain't no mistake. I knowed Ellie would win that contest because I made the soup myself. Well, yeah, I reckon it is cheating a little, but I'm desperate to get this girl a husband, and winning that contest can do it.
Well, I sympathize with you, Granny, but won't Mr. Clampett object?
Of course he will. Getting him to swallow this will take a heap of sugar coating, but I'll have to call you back, Miss Jane. John Barrymore just walked in.
You see?
No! It ain't John Barrymore. It's Milton Sills. You're too young for Milton. Why, Jed Clampett, you handsome rascal.
Have you gotten into your rheumatism medicine?
Kid, I was only funning. But you are an uncommon handsome man. I often wondered how you stay single. But I reckon it's because Ellie Mae ain't married yet.
Granny, are you fixing to tell me something?
Not while you got that axe in your hand, I ain't. Kid, before I tell you, I want you to promise not to use no bad words on me.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Well, Ellie Mae has won first prize in a cooking contest.
How?
That's a bad word. You broke your promise to me.
How could Ellie Mae win first prize in a cooking contest? That girl can't boil water.
She didn't win it for water. She won it for soup.
Soup?
Well, this company was looking for a new soup, and Ellie won it with Snyder's Surprise.
Now, Granny, you're the only one in this family can cook Snyder's Surprise.
Jed, what difference does it make? The winner will be on TV and get her pictures in the paper. And the men will be flocking around this place like crows in a corn husking.
Granny, it ain't honest.
Jed, I knew you'd be unreasonable.
Now, hold on. There's right and there's wrong, and this is wrong. Now, you get on that phone and call that soup company, and I'll tell Ellie Mae she's pulling out of the contest.
No, Jed. Don't do it, I'm warning you. It'll be a terrible shock to her. There's no telling what she might say.
I'm sorry, but Ellie Mae, you are pulling out of the cooking contest.
What cooking contest?
See, I warned you there's no telling what she might say.
What y'all talking about?
Never mind, Ellie, you've had a terrible shock. Now run along.
Yes'm, Granny.
No, stay here, Ellie. I want you to know what your granny's been up to.
Well, what, Granny?
I've been up to trying to get you a husband, that's what.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Well, never mind, Ellie. Run along like your granny said. I'll straighten this out with her.
Well, I sure hope you're gonna let her get them fellas for me.
Run on now. Now, Granny.
No! There it goes again. That terrible stabbing pain. I ain't long for this world, Jed.
You ain't, huh?
No. And I sure would like to see my granddaughter married before I go to my reward.
Slipping fast, are you?
Yeah. Everything's turning dark.
How long you think you got?
Not long, Jed. Not long.
Then get on the phone and call that soup company.
Jed, don't you want to see your daughter married?
Of course I do.
Well, that sweet innocent child don't know how to trap a husband. I gotta help her.
But it ain't right trapping him with your bait.
Ellie is done past the prime marrying age. We're dealing with a middle-aged woman.
I thought she was a sweet, innocent child.
Naturally. You're her father.
You call that soup company.
It's terrible to be an old woman. Nobody loves you. Folks all yell at you.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
I'm talking about Ellie. Oh, Savory Soup Company.
This isn't the Savory Soup Company. Granny, is that you?
This is Granny. I just want to tell you that Ellie Mae Clampett can't win that contest because she didn't make Snyder's Surprise. I did. Thank you. Goodbye.
What was that? Hello?
Granny, you done the right thing.
I think I did, too.
Granny, a fella just called me and said he was coming over to see me. Said he was from the Savory Soup Company.
Where's your paw?
Out front. Want me to go tell him?
No. I'll handle your paw.
Well, want to go next more donuts?
No. Oh, don't do that.
Well, Granny's going to expect something. Well, he just bragged about my cooking to beat the band.
Yeah. Well, we'll wade that creek when we get to it. Now, you go upstairs and take a nice hot lye soap bath and put on that dress I laid out for you whilst I get shed of your paw.
Well, why do you want to do that, Granny? Don't Pa want me to meet fellas and get spoke for and married up and all?
Of course he does, darling. It's just that men don't know how to manage things like this. You just trust your old granny.
I do, Granny.
Sweet thing. Pretty, too. She'd make some man a perfect wife if she was just 14 again. William S. Hart, what are you doing? No, it's Dustin Farr. You fooled me again. It's Jed Clampett. I declare you are getting handsomer every minute.
All right, Granny, what are you up to this time?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jed. There is something you can do for me, long as you're sitting down here with your gun and your dog.
What's that?
Shoot me some fresh bear meat.
In Beverly Hills?
Oh, no, I think you'd have to range out a little ways. Say to Utah.
How would I get to Utah?
Turn left at Arizona. Come on, Jed. I got my heart set on eating grizzly and gravy.
Well, you better get your heart set on something else.
Well, how about some wild moose jowls?
Moose jowl?
Well, how long has it been since we've had some good wild moose meat?
Benny, I am staying right here.
You can't, Jed. You gotta go.
Why?
Well, for Duke's sake. All that hunting talk you've been doing has got that poor dog stirred to a frenzy.
You don't look stirred to me.
Not from that end, maybe. But this end is raring to go. Down, boy. Down, boy. It's too late, Jed. That high-spirited animal can't be held back. He's got to go hunting or have a fit.
Benny, it'll get you off our backs. Duke and me'll see, can we jump you a few rabbits?
Not cottontails, Jed. Fetch me some jackrabbits. Them big rascals. Mountain jacks. The kind you have to find way back in the high country.
All right, I'll have Jethro fetch the truck. Come on, boy. Come on, Duke, let's go hunting. Some powerful frenzy he's in.
He's just waiting for the truck.
I don't like this, Miss Hathaway. I don't like it at all. Using this bank as a mail drop to fraudulently win a cooking contest. Oh, I'm very angry with you.
Chief, I told you Granny did it. Well, why yell at me?
Well, you don't think I'm crazy enough to yell at her, do you?
But, Chief, I'm sure Granny doesn't think she did anything fraudulent. She only...
Well, she did. And that's what this is. Out-and-out fraud. Granny cooked the soup. Ellie Mae won the... Does any money come with this?
No, just publicity.
Out-and-out fraud! And I will not let the bank get involved. Granny's got to be told in no uncertain terms to confess the truth, or I'll blow this contest wide open.
Chief, I'm sure you're going to make me tell her. Now, why are you putting your hat on?
Well, someone has to drive the getaway car.
How do you do? Is this a home of Ellie Mae Clampett?
You mean the rich, beautiful, young, unmarried girl that won the cooking contest with Snyder's surprise soup?
Yes, yes.
No, this ain't her home.
It isn't?
It belongs to her pa. But she lives here. Come in, come in.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Ellie's granny.
Well, I'm Stafford Clark of Savory Soup. This gentleman represents our advertising company.
Roger Dickerback. Dickerback, Breedlove, Burnett, Henderson, Postal Way, Johnson, North Cross, and Wesson.
By the time they call you for supper, you've done missed it.
That's my company name.
Well, excuse me if I treat you like family, because I'll never remember.
May we meet your granddaughter?
You mean the rich, beautiful, young, unmarried girl that won the contest?
Yes.
Follow me. She's out in the kitchen, as always. Just loves to cook, that young'un.
Say, how do you feel this? Young, wealthy girl loves to cook, spends all of her time in the kitchen. Well, what's the catch?
I'm afraid we'll find out when we see her.
You mean?
She's got to be a real beetle.
It's a good thing I warned you. She sure is a sight, ain't she?
Roger, let's remember why we're here. Miss Clampett, I want to congratulate you for cooking the best shape soup.
Ellie, this is Mr. Clark.
Well, howdy.
You do.
And this fella's name is Roger. I can't recollect the rest of it.
Dickerback, how do you do?
Howdy.
Tell her your company name.
Dickerback, Breedlove, Burnett, Henderson, Postal Way, Johnson, North Cross, and Wesson.
How would you like to carve his headstone?
Miss Clampett, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that I think that Snyder's Surprise is the most unusual and the most delicious soup I ever tasted.
Well, I like it, too.
Could you tell us how it's made?
I can't.
Well, what she means is she can't tell you. But if you put her on television, she can show you.
Why, that's an excellent idea.
Granny, I ain't never
Been on television, I know, honey. But I'll be right there, handing you things, helping you. That's all right with you, ain't it?
Well, I think I would prefer to use our own home economist, Sally Savory. Oh, she can help you.
Well, Granny's the only one that's ever made Snyder's Surprise.
What?
What she means is it's a family secret. Handed down, word of mouth. Now, could your Miss Savory stand there and hand Ellie a dab of this and a smidgen of that and a touch of something?
Well, I hardly think so.
Well, there you are. She needs me.
You ain't just a woofing, Granny.
What do you think, Roger?
Well, it might have commercial potential. Old family recipe kept secret for generations. Finally revealed to savory soup.
And we give it to the world.
Right. Let's take the idea back to the ad agency and brainstorm it.
Good thinking. We'll run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it.
Plug it in, see if it really lights up.
Put it on the train, see if it gets off at Westport.
Now, just a doggone minute. You ain't gonna run our soup up no flagpole or put it on a train.
Just a figure of speech, man.
Well, now, young lady, it looks to me like you're going to be on television.
Well, first of all, of course, you'll have to sign these releases and authorizations. She is 21.
She ain't no such thing. Why, that sweet child is just barely past 14.
14?
Oh, give or take a year or two.
Oh, well, I'm afraid then these papers will have to be signed by her mother and father.
Well, I ain't got no ma, and my pa ain't here neither. He's done gone to the high country.
Ain't that pitiful, poor child? I'll sign the papers.
He'll be coming back, though.
Who will?
My pa.
Ain't that pitiful? Give me the pen.
He's just out hunting with my cousin Jethro.
Nobody tells me nothing around here.
I think we'd better wait and get Mr. Clampett's signature.
There he is now. I'll have him sign him and fetch the papers back to you.
Under the circumstances, I think we better witness this signature.
You better come with me, Ellie. That front door's awful hard to open.
Well, Chief, we tried. I guess they're not home. Move over.
Get back there, you coward.
Mr. Drysdale, you're just the fella I'm looking for.
Stop her, Miss Hathaway. Save me.
What are you scared of? All I want's a little favor.
Oh, well, what is it?
Come out to the kitchen, pretend you're Jed, and sign his name to some paper.
Wait, you want me to impersonate Mr. Clappett and forge his signature?
That's all. Come on.
Now, wait a minute. I can't do that.
You got to. It's the only way I can get Ellie on the television and get her a husband.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Are you refusing to do me one little old favor?
Well, yes.
Granny, he could be sent to prison.
No. If he ain't gonna do it as a favor, I ain't gonna force him. Just go to the kitchen and tell them fellers to forget about it. Ellie and me will commence packing. I promised myself if I didn't get Ellie a husband this time, we were going back home for good.
No, wait.
4 years in Beverly Hills is enough. Yes, quick as fish dry.
But, Granny...
Just get Jed's money bailed. We'll be leaving first thing in the morning.
Spot. Go to prison for forgery or give up $60 million.
I'm sorry, Chief. I wish there was some way I could help. Chief, don't look at me like that. No, Chief, wait!
Relax. Your job will be waiting for you when you get out. Well, gentlemen, I find these papers in order. I'm certain that I can persuade Mr. Clappett to sign them.
That's wonderful, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, glad to do it, glad to do it. J.D. Clappett has a lot of money in my bank, and I feel sure that it's going to make him feel good to know that he's doing business with fellow depositors.
But, Mr. Drysdale, I don't believe my company has an account with your bank.
Neither is my ad agency. Really? Oh, my, that does present a problem. Oh, yes, very clannish, these Hill people. They like to feel that there's a sort of bond, you know. Well, it's too bad. It could have been a great campaign.
Well, now, wait. Maybe I get my company to open a small commercial account if I put on the pressure.
Me too. Gentlemen, you're using a word I don't like.
Pressure?
No, small. How's medium? Try again.
Substantial?
Keep going. Large? You've just made Mr. Clappett a very happy man. Come in, J.D. We're waiting for your signature, Mr. Clappett. It's all right, they're fellow depositors. A very bashful man, excuse me. So, if you got your hair cut, you could hear better. This is Mr. Clark and Mr. Dickerback.
Well, I'm happy to meet you, Mr. Clappett.
Mr. Clappett, you've got to stop taking these long hunting trips. Why, you're down to skin and bone.
Mr. Clappett, I'm sure you're going to be very happy to know that both my own soup company and Mr. Dickerback's ad agency are opening substantial accounts at Mr. Drysdale's bank.
What kind?
Right.
Sign here, J.D.
Not until you promise to give that there fine, upstanding, efficient, hard-working secretary of yours a raise.
What?
And I think it's high time she was getting in on that there pension and profit-sharing plan, too.
I'll take it up with her later. You can count on that.
You got to have your promise now, in front of these here witnesses.
Okay, I promise. A substantial raise.
What kind?
Large.
Large raise, pension, and profit-sharing.
And I'll throw in hospitalization. She's going to need it.
Well, gee whiz, Granny, do we have to go back home? You want a husband, don't you? Well, sure, but, well, you ain't gonna get one out here. We've been yelling suey for 4 years. Ain't got a hog to the trough yet.
Granny, you won't have to leave. Everything is all set. Mr. Clappett just signed the papers.
Ellie Mae's going to be the savory soup girl.
We'll be back in a couple of hours for a taping session.
Be back for a what?
Oh, just a technical expression. It means they're going to put Ellie on television.
I'll have me some gentleman callers then, won't I, Granny?
You betcha, honey. And be sure and smile a lot. Show 'em your teeth don't need fixing.
The raise is $10 a week. Make that 15. 15! All right, let's say 12 and a half. Hi.
Well, don't let this gun scare you. I just been out jumping a few jacks. You from back home? Kinfolk? Must be from Granny's side of the family. I figure you got her framed. You sure ain't got her mouth.
Now, don't you worry, child. I'm going to see that everything...
Oh, Paul, thank you for signing them papers.
Oh, Jed, you did sign the papers. I thought that maybe Mr. Drysdale... Who's that goomer?
Ain't he your kin?
I ain't never seen him before.
And now, young lady, I'm going to Mexico. Goodbye, everybody.
I am not going to face this alone.
Miss Hathaway, what is the meaning of this masquerade?
Oh, come now.
Doggies it is, Miss Jean.
Miss Hathaway, I demand a full explanation of your behavior. Have it on my desk when I return from Mexico.
Drysdale?
Yes?
Seems to me that there's more than one fox here with feathers on his mouth. Supposing we all sit down at the table and give all the chickens a chance to cackle.
All right, Granny, can we see you at the kettle, please? That's it, right there. That's good. All right, let's get a balance of the sound. Would you say something, Granny?
Am I on the television yet?
Not yet. Another minute or so.
Granny, while we got a minute, I just want to tell you how I'm proud of the way you're taking this.
Right is right, Jed.
But it sure wouldn't have been right to have Ellie make the soup on the TV.
Oh, I agree, Jed.
Don't worry, Ellie will get herself a husband.
Of course she will.
And we'll have the pleasure of knowing that she got him without no trick.
You're so right, Jed.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, would you step out of the picture, please? We're just about ready.
Well, you betcha. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Granny. Are you ready?
Howdy, all you folks out there in television land. I'm fixing to show you how I make Snyder's surprise soup. It's named after Snyder Swamp back home, 'cause it's made from all the critters who live there. First, you just start with a good, rich gator stock. I reckon some of you city folks calls it alligator. But back home, we don't use the Ellie.
Did you call me, Granny?
Bless my soul. If it ain't my rich, beautiful, young, unmarried granddaughter, Ellie Mae Clampett.
Smile?
Look at that smile. Ain't a tooth in her head needs fixing.
I might have known.
I reckon she's gonna have a swim in the cement pond just to cool off from all that work in the kitchen. Just loves to cook, that
This enough taters, Uncle Jed?
Don't hardly look it, Jethro.
Well, it be pretty near 2 dozen.
Better fetch me the peelings. I got a feeling that's where most of the taters is.
Yes, sir.
Doggy.
How's it taste, Uncle Jed?
Pitiful. Maybe them peelings will help. Dump them in.
Doggone, it just don't seem right, us doing women's work, whilst Granny sits in front of that TV set all day.
Ever since she found out there wasn't a washing machine, she ain't been more than 3 feet away from it. She's like a young'un with a new toy.
Like Ellie with her new critter. How come she ain't in her doing this cooking?
Jethro, I just don't believe Ellie was cut out for fixing victuals. Never forget the time she made that gooseberry pie. Ruined our best goose and a whole bucket of berries.
You mean she put together?
She did, and it was a mess, I'll tell you. I got her and Skipper out looking for stuff to put in this here.
Pa, Skipper found some onions.
Onion? Hey, they ought to go dandy in here.
Go on, Skipper, give them to Pa.
Thank you, Skipper. These here Beverly Hills onions ain't got a lot of bite to them. But the tops sure do flower out pretty. Jethro? Wash these and drop them in the pot.
Tops and all?
Yeah, we need all the flavor we can get. Where'd you find them, Ellie?
Over to the Drysdales.
Did you ask the Drysdales, could you borrow some onion?
Oh, yes, sir, Pa. Miss Drysdale says go around to the kitchen door and get some from the cook. But Skipper found some on the way, and we didn't have to bother nobody.
Fine and dandy. Well, drop 'em in the pot, Jethro. Don't just stand there sniffing 'em.
Would you like some more? There's a whole big patch of them.
A few more might help, Ellie. That stew ain't got too much going for it.
Come on, Skipper. Let's go pull up some more onions.
How's it going, boy?
Better?
Still pitiful. Even these onions ain't doing nothing. We just got to get Granny to help us.
You ain't gonna pry her loose from that TV set now. This is the time her favorite is on.
You mean that big strapping cowboy star?
That's right. Marshal Quirt Manley, two-gun tamer of the Wild West.
Look out, Quirt! Them rustlers are sneaking up behind you, fixing to shoot you in the back. Look out! Ooh, they got you. Ooh, they got you again. Oh, you're done for now, Quirt. That's it, you dirty coward! Right off and leave them with a back full of bullets! Attaboy, Quirt, after him! Get him! Catch him, Quirt! I can tell you where they's headed, Quirt. To town to hide in the saloon.
Granny.
It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon, you dirty yellow cowards. Quirt will find you. He'll get you.
Granny?
Shh! Yonder comes Quirt, riding like the wind. That's it. That's where they are. Go get 'em. It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon. I told Quirt where to look.
Say your prayers, yellow bellies. I'm coming in.
Is he going to tackle that whole saloon full of bad men all by himself?
You betcha. Quirt Manley don't need no help. Even with 30 or 40 bullets in him, he's more than a match for him.
He's lighting into him.
See, Jed? I told you he didn't need no help. Look at them run, the yellow bellies.
He's right smart of a man, all right.
Old Quirt chased them clean out of town.
Next time, I won't go so easy on you.
Yes, sir, Granny. He sure is a rip-snorting fighter, old Quirt. Oh, look yonder. Now he's fixing to wrestle his horse.
No, Jed. After a fight, he always hugs old Silver Trigger. And then he rides off into the sunset. See? Here they go.
Fine figure of a man. Sits tall in the saddle. Well, don't he have no sweetheart like Hoot Gibson always had?
No. Ain't no girl good enough for Quirt Manley. He only loves his horse and his dog.
Him and Ellie sure hit it off. Both of them being fond of critters and neither one of them having a sweetheart.
Yonder goes the man for Ellie Mae. If he can tame the whole Wild West, I reckon he can tame one wild girl.
Leastwise, he'd have a fighting chance. Whereabouts would a fella go to find old Quirt?
Off into the sunset, I reckon. That's where they always go.
Mighty big place to commence looking.
Sorry, Skipper, but you must not uproot Mrs. Drysdale's prize Bulbocodium brunum. That's the botanical term for daffodil. Now, if you're a good boy, if you're a good boy, Jane has a reward for you. A genuine Quirt Manley cowboy outfit. I bet you like it.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Jethro. And how is my strong, handsome, manly hero today?
Well, you'll have to ask Granny. She's the one that watches him.
Watches who?
Quirt Manley.
Oh, you thought I was referring to the television star.
Oh, I know you're hungry, Skipper. So am I, but this stew ain't nearly ready yet.
Stew? Jethro, what are you putting in there?
Everything I can lay my hands on. I ain't got no flavor at all.
Oh, no, Jethro. Not tea. Oh, you poor dear boy. You need a woman to do this kind of work for you.
That's a fact. You can say that again.
There happens to be such a woman available.
I know, but I don't stand much chance with her.
Would you like her to take over right now and prepare you a delicious meal?
I sure would.
Then drop to your knees, my handsome one, and ask me the question that is in your heart.
Please, will you go get Granny?
Yes! My answer is Granny!
Jethro, get up off that floor and stir the stew. Now, Miss Jane, will you stay and have victuals with us, such as they is?
Oh, well, yes, but why not let me do...
Hey, Skipper! Come on, Skipper, let's swing to the tree.
Ellie, what are you doing?
We's playing ape. Look here.
Ellie, no, please, be careful!
Sure would like to know where to find that Quirt Manley.
If you mean the television star, he lives right here in Beverly Hills.
He does? Could we get him to meet up with Ellie Mae?
I'm sure Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
I sure wish he'd hurry. That little monkey's liable to get himself hurt. I see you got some victuals.
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Told the fella down at the store about Granny watching TV all day instead of cooking. So he sold me these TV victuals, all packaged up and ready to eat.
Well, that's fine. Now, when Quirt Manley gets here, we got something else to offer him besides that pitiful stew.
Is Quirt Manley coming here?
That's right. Now, I want you to get the truck around back so when he rides up here, his horse won't shy at it.
Yes, sir.
And see your guns clean good. We'll ask him to give us some shooting lessons.
But we know how to shoot.
Not like that, rascal. Granny says he can drop 7, 8 rustlers with one shot. That ain't all. He's got a couple 6-shooters that shoot all day without reloading.
Well, I can't wait to meet that rascal.
Granny, Mr. Clampett, Quirt Manley just turned into your driveway.
Quirt Manley!
Yes, I knew Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
Quirt could put the whole bowl full of you.
Come on, Granny. Miss Jane, you find Ellie Mae and get her into a dress.
Yes.
That's Quirt, all right. I'd no silver triggers nay any place.
What about them 2 gunshots?
Brace yourself, kid. We're liable to find 30 or 40 rustlers laying out front. Don't shoot, Quirt. We ain't rustlers.
We's friends, Miss Manley.
That we is. How come you ain't riding Silver Trigger? Did them dirty rustlers get him?
We'll help you find him, but I ain't no Quirt Manley.
Kid, there's only one man like him. Why, he's the biggest, the bravest, the fightingest, the strongest, the hard-ridingest, and the straight-shootingest man alive.
Are you people putting me on?
Who said that? Somebody back here?
That you spoke, Mr. Manley? Oh, yeah. Well, sure it was. I got a sore throat. Sometimes the voice just sneaks out that way.
Come on in, Quirt. I'll doctor you.
Ain't got the time, ma'am. Ain't got the time. Still, I'll autograph a couple of pictures for you before I go. There you are. Well, so long now. I got to be driving off into the sunset.
Wait a minute. What about Ellie Mae?
Ellie Mae? Well, sure. There you are.
Mr. Clampett, Ellie Mae is swinging through the trees with Skipper and refuses to come down.
I'll go fetch her down if you can keep Mr. Manley from leaving.
Please don't go, Quirt.
Well, sorry, ma'am, but gotta hit the trail. Well, so long, y'all.
Hold on there, Mr. Manley. My boss, Mr. Drysdale, has been speaking with your boss, the sponsor, and he wants you to stay here and meet Ellie Mae.
Oh, well, in that case, I reckon I could spare a couple of moments.
Bless you, Quirt. Oh, bless you, Quirt. Ellie Mae is the wildest young'un that ever come down from the hills. But if there's one man alive who can tame her, it's big Quirt Manley.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I wish I was 10 years younger. I tell you right now, I'd give that Ellie Mae a run for her money. I always was partial to tall men. Come on. You and me are gonna have to jug together. Oh, I know you don't drink, but it won't hurt you to fall off the wagon just once.
All right, May, I don't want no more arguments from you. You get up them back stairs and change into a dress.
Well, why can't I wear cowboy clothes like Fort Manley?
Because a man like Manley wants a woman that's womanly now.
Lovely, Ellie Mae. Simply lovely. Here. I'll go the back way and get your father.
Yonder he sits. That's him, with the broad shoulders and hat. Sits tall in the chair, don't he?
Sure does, Granny.
Wait till he stands up. Your heart will jump right into your mouth. Mr. Manley, this here is Ellie Mae.
Howdy do. Glad to make your acquaintance.
The rustlers must have jumped first whilst we were out. Look, look!
We gotta catch him, Granny. They done run off with the best part of it.
Gee, that's the first time I've ever seen a swimming chicken.
Shucks, that's nothing. I got a cat that swims, too. And a rooster that plays dead, a dog that climbs trees, and a turkey that shakes hands.
My goodness, I just love animals like these. That is, the little ones. Big animals like horses kind of scare me.
But you ride like the wind on TV.
Oh, that's not me, Ellie Mae. That's my double. He does my riding, shooting, fighting, falling off cliffs and things like that. I have another double who does the deep voice for me. I call him my double-double.
What do you do, Mr. Manley?
Oh, please, Ellie Mae. Call me Henry. That's my real name, you see. I'm only on the show because my father's the sponsor. They just use me for close-ups. They say I have a sincere face.
Got a nice face. I like it.
Oh, thank you, Ellie Mae. I like your face, too. And now that I come to think of it, I like the rest of you. Did you notice that rhymed?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I really like to do. Make up poems for girls like you.
Well, there goes another one right there.
They just pop out of me at times. Would you like me to make up a poem about a raccoon?
I sure would, and Elmer would, too.
Very well. I like the raccoon because he is so filled with goodness and generosity. Well, look how he gives us his skin for use on our garments and other apparel. In addition, raccoons act natural and don't put on airs, as do skunks and old turnips.
You're up, Granny. Someone here to see you.
Well, I don't want to see him. He reminds me of Fort Manley. Oh, he's a heap more of a man. Handles a gun a heap better, too. He's the one that ought to be on TV.
Hi, Ellie Mae. Hey, excuse me, little feller. Can you tell me where I can find Mr. Quirt Manley? I noticed you was toting his hat for him.
Well, this here is Fort Manley, Jethro.
Stop joking, Ellie Mae. I'm in a hurry. I want to ask him if I can borrow his pretty car to drive around the block a couple times.
Oh, yes, you may, Jethro. The car belongs to my father, so it's all right.
Phew! Hey, do you think he'd tear me to pieces if I borrowed his hat, too?
I can promise you he won't.
Mr. Manley, I have a word with you, please.
I know what you're going to say, Mr. Clampett, and And I don't blame you for wanting to shoot me.
Oh, ain't nothing like that at all. I just want to talk to you about Granny.
Guess I must have been a terrible disappointment to her.
She is a mite let down, but I think we can pull her out of it if we all tug together. Now, first off, I'm going to learn you how to shoot a gun, and Ellie here is going to learn you how to fight.
I'm afraid of guns, but I might like learning to fight.
Ma'am, you hadn't ought to jumped in the car like that, especially with me going pretty near 30 miles an hour.
I'd do anything to sit next to Court Manley.
But my name ain't Quirt Manley.
Don't think you can fool me. I've seen you on television. And I've dreamed of the day when I could get close enough to throw my arms around you and kiss you. My darling Court.
But honest, ma'am, my name is...
Your name is what?
My name is Kurt Manley. There's plenty for everybody.
I tell you, Granny, that little feller is a crack shot. He can stand on our front porch and light a match clean out by the front gate with a 6-shooter.
I don't believe it.
Come on out, he'll show you.
Jed tells me you're pretty good with them 6-shooters.
Granny, he's a blue-tailed marvel. He's gonna whip out them guns and bam, 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 light them 3 matches stuck in the ground down there this side of the wall.
I believe it when I see it.
All right.
Where are you going?
Oh, I can't bear to watch him. He puts me plumb to shame.
Well, come in shooting.
You count to 3, and I'll draw and fire.
1, 2, 3. Well, I gotta admit, that's pretty good. Why, you ain't even drawed your guns, you little faker, you!
Granny, hold on!
That little sawed-off faker out of here!
But Ellie's right fond of him. You see, Granny, some heroes is fighters and some heroes is lovers, and I reckon that little cowboy is a lover.
Oh, bosh! I'm gonna get my shotgun and blast the inside out of that lying TV set, and if he ain't gone by then, he's next!
Granny, wait!
Hey, look at there! Look at what I got!
Get through. Where'd you get all these girls?
Well, they think I'm a rich TV star.
Say, you girls counting the money. I'll show you how you can divide up that whole roll. He's a little cowboy inside there. All you gotta do is go in there and make a big fuss over him and take on about how cute he is. Will you do it?
Sure.
Them girls was mine!
We'll get him back here through as soon as they show Granny what a ladies' man little quirt is.
The house is swarming with girls.
Yeah, you see who they's all crazy about?
You betcha. He's a real star, that little feller.
You got the wrong little cowboy. Now, Granny, don't shoot the TV set.
This ought to get the Clampetts interested in deep-sea fishing, don't you agree?
Chief, it is a master stroke of psychological strategy.
Thanks. Grab the tail.
It cleverly takes cognizance of their innate love of the sport of hunting, which has been drastically curtailed by Ellie Mae's love of the very creatures they hunt.
Yeah, grab the tail.
Provides these active, rugged mountaineers with all the thrills and excitement of the chase they so thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, grab the tail.
And should they become devotees, it will prevent their leaving Beverly Hills and returning to their home. For, by its very nature, big game fishing is impossible in their landlocked, mountainous terrain. I repeat, Chief, it is a master stroke of psychological strategy.
All this because I said 3 lousy words. Don't you agree? And I'm going to say 3 more. Grab the tail!
and old Duke here is plumb tuckered out. We walked clean over to the golf pasture looking for some game.
What'd you get?
We got mean-mouthed and stick-chased out of there.
You mean you come home with nothing, empty-handed again?
Well, we did manage to find a few of them golf eggs.
Throw them out, Jed. They just can't be cooked. I boiled them and porched them and fried them. And they still come out gummy as an old boot. Doggone it, I wanted some fresh game meat.
Well, looks like we's caught betwixt and between, Granny. Folks don't want me shooting a gun, and when I snare the game, Ellie makes a pet out of it.
Uncle Jed, Granny! Come see what Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane brought us. A great big old fish about this long.
Fish that size must be a channel cat.
Yeah, some catfish rolled in cornmeal, deep fried. Ought to taste pretty good right now, huh?
Sure.
Come on, let's go.
Remember, not a word to my wife about giving this trophy to the Clampetts.
Right, Chief.
That fishing trip to the Gulf of Mexico cost us about $4,000. And this is all we have to show for it.
I understand.
Plus which, it took her 6 hours to land it.
Well, doggies, that is a big fish.
Ain't no catfish.
Looks like a carp.
No, this is a tarpon. That's a saltwater fish.
Oh, you cook them in salt water, do you?
No, it lives in salt water. The tarpon is a noted deep-sea game fish.
And I want you to have it for your game room.
Our what room?
Game room. That's the one with the trophies on the wall. The billiard room.
Oh, you mean the fancy eating room.
Yes, as you so quaintly call it.
What do I have to do to them?
Nothing. It's been prepared by an expert taxidermist.
Feels nice and crisp.
I'd sure like to see the skillet he was fried in.
Me too. Appears like the grease got too hot and he curled up a mite.
No, he's not fried.
Baked?
No.
Don't smell like he's been smoked.
Tarpon are rarely cooked at all. Once caught, they're usually preserved, like this one.
Oh, preserved.
Like pickled?
Well, yes, in a way. It's quite a process. They're cleaned, scraped, treated with chemicals, even the bones are removed. Then, a form is made and the skin
Miss
is...
Hathaway.
Sorry, Chief.
Mr. Clampett, I'm sure you'd enjoy catching a fish like this.
I would for a fact. Now, there's a critter even Ellie wouldn't make a pet out of.
Then it's all settled. Now I'm going out and get you the finest deep-sea fishing equipment that money can buy.
Oh, no need to do that, Mr. Drysdale. I can cut myself a pole and make a hook out of a bent nail.
No, catching big game fish like tarpon and marlin requires very special equipment.
It does indeed, Mr. Clampett. The black marlin, for example, which is a native of our own Pacific waters.
Jethro, fetch this fish out to the kitchen. I gotta figure out how to cook him.
But, Granny, Miss Jane said you didn't have to do nothing more to it. She said that it was all...
I heard what she said, but I say that this fish ain't got a fresh-caught look to it. And nobody's chomping on him till I've cooked him.
Yes, ma'am, Granny. She's right. It could use some tendering up.
You're gonna commence a tendering up, you wall-eyed, ocean-going varmint.
You cooking that fish?
I ain't giving him a bath.
Gene said he already been prepared by experts, something or other.
Taxi driver.
That sounds like it, yeah.
He better stick to driving taxis. He don't know shucks about fish. I've been boiling this rascal for 2 hours, and he's still tough as harness leather.
You know what it could be, Granny?
What?
Swimming around in the salt water all them years is what toughened him up. You know what brine will do to any kind of hide.
I know what it's done to his hide. Why, I've dulled 3 knives trying to cut him up. Finally had Jethro fetch him out here and throw him into my big kettle whole.
And cooking him 2 hours ain't soften him up none?
Not one smidgen. And I've had both ends in the water.
Hey, Granny, we's hungry. Ain't that fish ready yet?
That fish ain't never gonna be ready.
Well, let's go catch one of our own.
Yeah, with this fish winding machine.
It'll be a freshwater fish if I cook it. I'd as leave try to stew an alligator as that thing.
Come on, Jethro, let's dig some worms.
Now, hold on. I reckon it'd hurt Mr. Drysdale's feelings considerable if he was to find out we didn't eat his fish.
But, Uncle Jed, I pretty near broke a tooth on that thing.
And if Jethro can't bite through it, nobody can.
How about Rusty, my cat? He's had his eye on it ever since Jethro fetched it out here.
Yeah, let's give it to him.
It's a heap of fish for one cat.
Don't worry about that, Granny. Appears like Rusty is rounding him up some friends to help.
All I can say to you is, loads of luck.
Well, didn't you cut poles for Pa and Granny?
Granny's going to use the new store-bought pole from Mr. Drysdale, and Uncle Jed's going to try out his new fishing machine.
You dig a nice bucket of worms, Ellie?
Yes, sir, Pa. They's on a truck. What's that thing you're wearing?
Well, this here is a fishing machine harness for holding this here fishing machine.
I still say that's a mighty short pole.
I reckon it's meant for fishing over the side of a boat, Gran.
Ain't gonna get me on no boat.
Ain't figuring to. They work just well off a bridge. You know any good fishing bridges, Jethro?
Only bridge I know goes over the Los Angeles River.
Ain't nothing like a river for catfish. Let's get going.
Wasn't much water in it last time we was there.
Maybe the beavers had it dammed up.
If May's still there, can I bring home a beaver?
No more critters.
Quiet down, Granny. We ain't bringing home nothing but fish. Let her roll, Jethro. Come on, Jethro. You're wasting time. There ain't no fish in there.
That is the poorest excuse of a river I ever did see.
Pitiful, just pitiful.
Los Angeles is so ashamed of that river they had to put up cement walls to hide it.
It'll be better when spring thaw sets in. Come on, let's go find us a creek or pond.
Hey, wait a minute. I got a bite.
My doggies, he has it that.
Jerry, fetch my pole, quick!
What for? This ain't nothing but a boot.
I know it. I'm going to fish for the other one. They're better than the ones I'm wearing.
You young'uns wait here. Granny and me is going in and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah, I have a few things to say that you might oughtn't to hear. Him and his Beverly Hills fishing.
Now, simmer down, Granny. We'll get it straightened out. Keep eye on the poles and stuff.
Guess what, Chief?
What?
You're taking the Sea Witch tomorrow.
I am not. You know she doesn't get along with the Clappets.
The Sea Witch is the boat you've chartered.
Oh. Well, don't scare me like that.
By doggies, we come here to complain about having no place to fish. You ought to see where poor Mr. Drysdale is trying his luck.
Granny, Mr. Clampett, come in.
Mr. Drysdale, are you catching anything out of there?
Well, I wasn't really trying to catch anything.
We was trying.
What did you get?
One old boot, and it don't fit too good.
I thought the hunting around here was poor, but the fishing is really miserable.
We found a pond with some fish in it up the street yonder. The one with the spring and the bubbles coming out of in the middle.
Oh, that's a municipal fountain, and those are goldfish.
I hope you didn't try to catch any of those.
Oh, yeah, we caught a lot of them, but we threw them all back. The biggest one was no better than that.
Mr. Clampett, Granny, tomorrow you will have the fishing experience of your lives. I have chartered a boat.
I ain't setting foot on no boat.
Granny, you'll be perfectly safe. It's quite large, and there's an expert crew aboard.
I ain't getting on no boat.
But you love it, Granny. Wait till you experience the thrill of hooking a giant barracuda.
I ain't going.
Of fighting sea bass.
I ain't going.
Bonita, albacore,
I ain't going.
yellowtail.
You can call me coward all you want. I ain't going.
Please, Mr. Clappett, bring her back. I want to explain.
I'll bring her back, but you're going to have a job getting her on the boat. Granny's right fond of fishing, but she likes to do her rocking on dry land.
Doggone it. Deep-sea game fishing is made to order for that scrappy little woman. One look at a 500-pound sea bass, and she'll never fish in fresh water again.
Chief, I've got an idea. An inspiration. It combines all the elements
Oh, wait a minute. Can you tell me in 5,000 words or less?
I can tell you in one word, Marineland.
Marineland,
Yes, there, with her feet firmly planted on dry land. Granny can gaze through glass windows into a huge tank and observe at arm's length specimens of sea life for the thousands. from the largest mammals to the tiniest crustaceans.
Now, Granny, it won't hurt you none to listen to Mr. Drysdale.
He ain't getting me out on no water.
But, Granny, I know how fond you are of fish.
I'm fond of ducks, too. But I ain't going up in the sky after them.
Sit down, sit down.
Well, youngins, we're going fishing after all.
Mr. Drysdale told us about a fishing hole that's got 'em all beat.
He's going to take us out there first thing in the morning.
It's a gymnasium.
You can look through a glass window and pick out the kind of fish you like.
Some of 'em as big as this truck.
Let's go right now.
Yeah, I'm all for that, Jed.
Well, I reckon it would spare Mr. Drysdale a heap of trouble.
Yeah, where is it, Paul?
Down near the ocean, a place called Marine Land.
Do you reckon the Marines would let us fish there?
Well, he didn't say nothing about that.
Well, they hadn't better try to stop me. I'm catching one of them whoppers for supper tonight.
The Marines is real tough fighters, Granny, and they tote guns.
Well, let's stop by home and get our guns.
Hold on, Granny. We ain't taking on the whole United States Marine.
And he called me a yellowtail.
Fight him, Granny.
Ain't nobody gonna fight nobody. We'll ask them Marines nice and polite, can we fish in a fishing hole?
What if they say no?
We'll jump that quick when we come to it. Drive on, Jethro. Excuse me there, young feller. Are you a Marine?
No, sir, Air Force. But there's a Marine. Oh, Sergeant.
Yes, Lieutenant.
These people seem to be looking for a Marine.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, we heard stories about all the big fish there is in there, and we sure would like to try our luck.
Be my guest.
Well, thank you.
Oh, it's a great spot. You'll love it.
Big fish, huh?
I'll say, if you like real big fish, be sure to catch the whale.
We can do our best.
Sure is nice of the Marines to let us use their fishing holes.
Yeah. Hey, this looks like a good one. Pull up here, Jethro.
They must be them whales that Marine told us to catch.
I've got to admit, them's big fish.
I don't think we got a pole big enough to pull one of them rascals in.
According to the sign on the fishing hole, them there is porpoises.
I want me a whale. Drive on. What's these critters?
The sign says these here is seals.
Well, let's see what else we can find.
I want me a whale.
I like them, especially that baby one. This here's the biggest one yet.
It's a dandy.
Is this where the whales are supposed to be?
That's what the sign says.
I don't see no fish.
Maybe you gotta drop a line in and get a bite.
Put a hook on my line, Jethro.
Yes, sir, Granny.
Ellie Mae, I'm gonna catch me the biggest whale there is in there. Fetch me out a nice big fat worm.
I don't believe I'd bother with a worm if I was you.
Think a grasshopper would make better bait?
Unless you can find one the size of a hog.
Grasshopper don't come that big.
And you better use a hog. Look out yonder. Here he comes again.
And we thought them porpoises was big.
Don't nobody move. That fish is mine.
What are you gonna catch him with, Granny?
It's Jethro.
You ain't gonna put me on no hook.
No. You go out there on that board and make a noise like a grasshopper.
You mean rub my legs together?
I don't care how you do it, but do it. Then when he jumps out of the water to grab you, you grab him first.
How?
Throw your arms around him. Grab him out of there and fling him on the bank.
Granny, I reckon you're getting a little carried away. I'd be proud as you to take that big rascal home, but instead of gaining the fish, we might be losing the boy.
If the Marines can catch him that big, so can we. Come on, Jethro. Go on, Jethro, go on.
All right, but you come with me.
What's the matter, Jethro? You scared of a fish?
Well, that's what I am. Here's a whole bucket of fish. Why don't we take these home? Then we don't have to bother that big ugly rascal.
Give him one. He'll think we're friendly. Catch him off guard. Go on, Jethro, go on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean you're ugly.
That's right, Jethro. Tempt him again.
That's it. Looking down his throat is like looking through a cellar door.
All right, Granny, that's enough. Come on, Jethro, get off of here.
You bring the fish, Uncle Jed.
Another fish, Jed.
Here's one for you, young fella. I think this whale wants them all.
It's a baby walrus. Ain't he cute, Pa? Can I take him home?
Hadn't better, Ellie. He'd remind Granny too much of Leif Crick. Ain't that right, Granny? Where'd you go, Granny? Jethro!
Put me down, you big coward.
I caught her, Uncle Jed. She was bringing her back to the whale tank.
I reckon we better head for home.
I'll be back, you overgrown big mouth varmint. And this time I'll get you. You're mine, do you hear? I can't stand it. Turn around and go back.
We're going home, Granny. Now quieten down.
You can't catch a whale, Granny.
It's too much fish for a little woman like you.
Now, fish don't feel that's too much for me. I'll see him in my skillet or it's the last thing I ever do.
Just getting close to him, Blood, will be the last thing you ever do. Now settle down.
I know what I'll do. I'll roll him in cornmeal. That's what I'll do. Deep fry him. Get that rascal yet?
Where are you going, Gran?
None of your business.
Who sent her off?
Poor Granny.
Yeah, the sad part of it is, when she goes telling folks about the one that got away, ain't nobody gonna believe her.
Hey, Uncle Jed, look what I found on the truck. A baby seal.
That's my baby seal. You put him down.
Ellie Mae Clampett, did you carry off that critter from Marine Land?
No, sir. He followed me.
Followed you?
Yeah, you just put him down and I'll show you.
Ellie Mae? I reckon he followed you to the truck, but he didn't get up by himself.
No, sir. I helped him a little.
It happened again because we're taking him back.
Come on, Whiskers.
Hey, Granny, we's going back to Marine Land.
Don't get her steamed up again. There ain't no way in the world that little woman can catch that big...
Let's go. I'm ready for that